down here. Oh, yeah. He's up there, running up towards the goal. Where's Murphy? Oh, you can't stop him. Oh, gee, what's going on in this one? Comes from Berwick, which is a very good part of the world. I used to live there myself. The engaging personality of Bernie Quinlan. Oh, Wagga, yeah, I know. Yeah. No way you'll be able to. We walk backwards to Wagga. They tossed yet? They haven't, have they?
Hello. Committee on 3 here. Just thought I'd...
No, you're on 2.
Peter Bent. How are you, son? Me too. I'll just talk to you on the talk back.
I wonder who's going to play 4-4. They named Neil there, didn't they? I don't think he played there.
Neil.
Dundas, Callaway, Rogers. Rogers.
On. Oh, come on, that was just a one-off at the Callaway, okay? But don't get carried away.
That's one of Sandy's. You can't say sets up at home. That's Sandy's got a mortgage on that. And Pete McKenna's got ducks back. And I'm not allowed to say centimetre perfect.
Quite right. Neither am I. Oh, heard him. Oh dear.
Campbell.
The danger with a game like this is the first quarter could see the light of day.
Yes, yeah. Correct.
Correct the Monday.
You don't want that, do you?
No. Not today. I went up to Mort's place last night. So.
Graham Arthur?
No.
Richmond left, eh?
Yes.
Gee, Brian Sheehan's got almost as much here as Billy Cannon now. Glenn James is recording this. I better be careful. Good afternoon, Glenn.
No, Jamesy was only doing the reserves.
Was he?
Yeah.
Oh, you'll be off now. I've been the Hedy Lamar.
A bit hard.
Now, who is the other umpire's guy? Tall guy. What's his name?
The umpires today are...
No, not out
there. Oh, that one. Oh, that one.
What's his name?
Yeah, that's right. What's his name?
What do you got? You got a loose cord there. What's going on? Jeez, look at this.
Tim Watson, game number 302.
Okay, he's coming off. Daffy.
You hope. I hope.
Doolan, O'Connor,
and Mopsy Fraser.
And Dale Kickett.
Dundas, Neil, and Daffy.
Dundas, Neil, and Daffy.
Beautiful. Dundas, Neil, Daffy. Who's coming up for Essendon?
O'Connor, Kickett, and
that's crowd effect.
Doolan.
Can we just take him down a fraction?
O'Connor.
Played.
O'Connor,
Kickett. Doolan, was it?
Yep.
Yeah, Doolan started on the bench last week. Richmond going to the left. Who's at full forward?
Murphy.
Murphy's going to full forward, has he?
Murphy full forward. Well, that's right.
Oh, hang on. Is Gale going there?
Yeah.
Gale looks like.
Yep.
Murphy forward pocket.
Howard centre forward.
First quarter from Optus Oval. Richmond going to the left. Gale lining up at full forward. Alessio and Dio. Alessio wins it. The Tigers desperate to try to get back on the winning list after some poor performances in recent times. Here's the youngster coming up for his first kick, Murphy, but it's going to be a free to Essendon. And away go the Bombers. Calthorpe kicks up towards the centre half-back position. Mark taken by Denham. Sean Denham gets the call from the umpire to play on, which he does. Up punt towards Gale. Loops out the hand pass. Chance for the Bombers to go forward here. Might have been too high. Buick, who was best on the ground last up for Essendon. Terrific display. Cockatoo Collins has it on right centre wing. He turned it around against Geelong. Buick. And Alessio in front. Couldn't take the mark. Ball spooned out to the front of the pack. Campbell. Short kick. Grenville. Chance to mark. Couldn't take it. Down goes Rogers. Ball spills free. Out to the front. Denham again. Long hand pass to the veteran O'Donnell. Beautiful pass, and Simons takes the mark. Well inside kicking distance. He'll certainly make the distance from there. 40 metres out directly in front.
Yeah, well, he's not renowned for his kicking ability, Michael Simons, as we see this build up again. Off to O'Donnell. Look at the space Simons had to lead into. Very open Essendon in the forward line at this stage, and Simons taking a longer run up than Michael Holby.
Gosh.
For this shot at goal, this is almost ridiculous.
He's gone back.
That's a record.
That is a record.
Almost to the centre of the ground. Still he comes. Didn't get the desired result.
Well,
First score on the board to Essendon, one behind, and I obviously assume you don't approve, Bernie.
well, whoever his kicking coach is, I think he needs to rethink the kicking style there, because that's just putting him off balance, I believe.
When he got there, I think he was fatigued.
Exactly.
So Turner to bring it in. Bond offers the short lead. Knights is limping at the moment too. As Turner kicks towards the outer side, all directed. Hurd goes up, uncontested, plays on quickly. O'Donnell to Denham. Truce in a half forward position. Kicks long down towards full forward. Drifting back Bullis right on the goal line. Paul Bullis. Surely Cockatoo Collins should come back a couple of paces there as well. Bullis barely with space. Members side with a kick. In from the side. Turner fisted it down. Masidi pulls it back. Mercury knocks it on. Kellaway did well. Gale with dash. Backed himself against the ball. Broderick bumped down there by Simons. And a whistle.
Essendon doing most of the attacking in the first quarter so far. 17.5 minutes left. Sheehan, Garrett and Bird, the umpires in charge this afternoon. The 20th anniversary of the blood match at Windy Hill. 1974 it occurred. Big half-time brawl between these two sides. Alessio's come out with the free kick here. Deer can't believe it. Here's what happened. Well, I think that's pretty obvious. Some of those can be, as Ross Glendinning would say, fairly ticky-touchwood affairs, but Deer definitely...
Well, it wasn't all that serious, was it, Peter, really?
Well,
it was body on body.
By the letter of the law, Bernie, I suppose, was correct. And that's off target as well. So the first two behinds of the match, the first two scores of the game going to Essendon. Alessio kicking a minor score, as did Michael Simons from that set shot. So two behinds, 2 points to the Bombers. Not a bad crowd here. Not a capacity crowd by any stretch of the imagination. Turner goes out wide. It'll have to be touched. Hardwick snares it right on the boundary. But half an hour. Broderick follows up well. Might have been a hard tackle on free. The umpire says yes, but play on is the call. On free kicks towards midfield. Marking contest. Thompson farms it out well to Grenville.
This is Buick. Swings it out wide. Calthorpe. Cockatoo Collins is on down the ground. Calthorpe, well, I'm not sure what he was doing there. Cockatoo Collins still with a chance. Campbell senses the danger and pushes it across the boundary line.
Just looking at the Richmond lineup, Dennis, we've got Brendan Gale lining up at full forward in the absence of Matthew Richardson. John Howard's lining up at centre half forward. And the young player Murphy playing his first games alongside him, or alongside Gale in the forward pocket, picked up by Wanganeen.
Hurd in trouble. Alessio trying to trap it. This is Denham. Nicely done to Hurd, deep in the pocket. Pulls it back towards the kickoff line. Simons in front, knocked out of it. Turner heads for the boundary line. O'Donnell leads back in the race. Sat obligingly for him. Hardwick right on the 50. Little chip pass. That's ambitious. Watson kept it alive. Over the ball, Cockatoo Collins. Tape goes crashing into him. And the ball up. So a bounce about 35 metres out from Essendon's attacking goal. And they lead by 2 points. Early going in this game at Princes Park. There's the time remaining. Alessio and Dia wrestle. Gale didn't have the ball. O'Donnell, hurried kick again, floats it down towards full forward. Hurd in from the side. Great grab. Marvellous mark.
Very good overhead, James Hurd. That is a magnificent mark under strong opposition from the Tigers. 2 Richmond players attempting to spoil. The one at the back was Turner, the other one was Campbell from the side. An exceptional talent, this player, James Hurd, recruited from Ainslie in the ACT.
Will it be the first goal of the day? Hurd from 25 metres out, pops it through. Good start then by the Bombers. They lead by 8 points.
There's James Hurd, the ideal conditions here for the high flyers, and he's very exciting. Keeps his eye on the ball, knows nothing else, that's all he does, keeps his head up. Here he is. This is not an easy mark, this one, because the 2 Richmond players defending strongly. One of those, Turner, had a big swipe at the ball there. There's his opponent there in Wayne Campbell. And James Hurd is the leading mark taker in this Essendon side for the year. That's his 68th mark for the season.
By Brian Sheehan puts it down. The Bombers getting the first 3 scores on the board. James Hurd the first goal. Thompson, quick hand pass to the other veteran O'Donnell. Now to the youngster Hardwick. Kick bounces inside 50. There he is again. Hurd. We look for Denham. Maxfield nearly had him. Broderick, quick hand pass. Campbell. The Tigers come away free from the circle. Chips it in short to half forward. They need something to happen quickly. Howard takes the mark. Maybe too far out to score. Maybe. Bomber forwards or Bomber defenders had best position Grenvold, and they have numbers. Masiti to Buick. Did he keep it in play? Yes, he did. Boundary umpire says okay. Now bounces out of bounds and away from the danger zone, just about on the centre wing position.
I think a minute or so ago that Maxfield may have been a little bit kind to Sean Denham. He could have cleaned him up properly.
So boundary throw in, left half forward for Richmond. For the first time they have been forward so far in the match. O'Donnell, Denham, who's been lively so far. Bauer off the ground. Mercury, oh gee, that was nearly a throw. O'Donnell, quick hands we'll say, up to half forward, Hurd again. Markle free kick.
It was gutsy by Mercury, wasn't it?
Wasn't it? Yes, he's a very good player.
Turner. Led Simons for the ball. Almost could have marked that. Did the team oriented thing, got it away from the danger zone, kicked it off the ground, or actually from mid-air, I think before it hit the ground. And so a throw in left half forward for Essendon. Between wing and half forward. Deer with Alessio. Past Bond. Buick again. He turned it around last week. O'Donnell. Hurd. Certainly has been busy so far. So is O'Donnell. Knight's intercepting. Put Cockatoo Collins out of business, and it will be a throw in right on 50 at Essendon's left half forward flank. 13.5 minutes remaining in the first term. Essendon 1-2. Richmond yet to score at Princes Park or Optus Oval. Buick. Cockatoo Collins and Bond. Ball spills free for Denham. Alessio. Cockatoo Collins had it, lost it. Gale, good block. Tries to tie it up. Richmond free kick.
Yes, well done, Michael Gale, the former Fitzroy player, putting his body there on the line and getting the front position and being rewarded with that free kick.
Plenty of work at the present time for the Tiger defence. This is Dia at centre half back. Kicks towards the middle. Kellaway goes back. Juggle mark is good alongside the centre circle. Kellaway into the forward line. Sets it up for Gale down there off hands. Ridley's hand pass. O'Donnell, who's been busy. Well done by Young. Kept his footing. Hardwick on the outer side. Forward of half back. Chips towards the middle. Alessio. Runners alongside. Doesn't release the ball. Kicks towards half forward. Not a good kick.
Kicked very poorly, Dennis, didn't he?
Yep. Campbell. Rebound opportunity. Broderick. Did nicely. Buick went down. Broderick. Bond. Howard inside the 50. Goes long. It's not a bad effort. It's a good kick. It's a goal. John Howard.
Of course, better known as the defender, Johnny Howard. He played most of his football there with Melbourne before being picked up in the draft by the Tigers. Lining up this afternoon at centre half forward. And a very good kick.
Nice left footer, wasn't it?
Magnificent kick for a goal from about 45 metres, and that's Johnny Howard's first goal for the season.
John Howard kicking his first goal for the match. As Bernie said, first goal for the season. Maybe that's his niche in attack. Maxfield swings Richmond into attack again. Good long kick from the pack off. Clean bowls the lot of them. Chance for Gale. Fletcher right on his hammer. Gale playing at full forward this afternoon. Richmond with Richardson in the reserves. Kickers by Rogers. Is that a mark? Yes, it is. Naish.
Well, this player came on a few weeks ago here at the same oval when they played Fitzroy and really swung the game for the Tigers in that third quarter.
Good mark.
Yeah, he's not a big player, Chris Naish. 174 centimetres, but very strong overhead.
Naish kicks it goal and gets it. That's the Tigers' second. They hit the front. Well, amazingly, Richmond lead by 4 points, and I say that because Essendon, we've been playing quite a few minutes now. It's nearly to the halfway stage of the quarter. Would have had the ball on their forward line, Bernie, for 90% of the time.
Yes, you could say the Tigers getting full value for their forward attacks because they've only had the ball up on that forward line about twice. And they've had a lot of difficulty indeed in getting the ball over the half-forward line, but on both occasions they've converted.
Richmond lead by 4 points. Awkward bounce. Alessio goes back after it. Denham, clean possession, boots it down towards half-forward. Cockatoo Collins, great dash. Hits for the pocket. Simon's on a lead. It runs away from him and goes out of bounds.
Yes, he did show a lot of pace there, didn't he, Che Cockatoo Collins? He's played in every Essendon game throughout 1994.
Boundary throw in. Just inside the 50. Alessio props in front. In from the side, Dia. Back towards the boundary line it goes. Tape takes it across. Just outside the 50 now. Tigers, 3 wins so far this season. And an upset today would be very handy for them. Essendon looking very crisp. Not translating that on the scoreboard. Bond knocked off the ball. Keeping it in front, Hurd. Hurd kicks. Will it bounce? No. Well, it did, but not over the head of Turner. And he takes it across the line. 1-3 to 2 goals. Naish and Howard have the goals for the Tigers. Hurd, the goal kicker for the Bombers. Here's Turner, straight down the middle. Good kick too, and from the side, Dia knocks it on. Ridley leads back in the race. It's 2-on-1. Ridley forced the kick though. It was well played by Howard. The ball goes out of bounds.
Actually gained a few metres for the opposition there. Todd Ridley, good pressuring. Boundary throw is on centre wing on the outer side. Alessio and Dia. With Broderick, Howard and O'Donnell hovering. It's Broderick to Rogers. Maxfield. A quick kick to half forward. Grenville, 2 bites. Good mark. Grenville from almost the true centre half back position. Runs through that area. Finds his teammate down there in Ridley, who will have to come back.
He looked very good in his first season or so, Todd Ridley, but didn't play much football last year for the Bombers. In fact, only played 4 games in 1993.
Oh, big grab. Campbell, terrific mark.
Well, I think he may have been thinking about awarding a free kick there, the umpire. Had Campbell not taken that mark.
Well, he's given it to Tape. There was a free kick there. Good grab though, just the same. And Richmond now looking a little bit more lively. Howard gets it under Knights. And he's limping earlier. Seems to be okay. Free, in trouble, nearly free. Murphy not going to get his first touch.
Very optimistic there, Tony Free, trying to get around Wanganui. There's a blind turn into his arms.
And he had a couple of chances to get rid of it. Thompson to Hardwick, mucking in front of Maxfield. Still inside his own defensive 50-metre zone. Kicks to centre wing. O'Donnell the target. Broderick, 2 of the class ruck rovers in the game. Essendon free kick.
Free kick up the field there against Broderick.
Very young there. Goes the ball back. Playing against his old side today. Hurd. A play on call. Umpire Brian Sheehan says you've got to get rid of it. He does. There's Young. Breaks 1 tackle. Long hand pass. Here's a chance for a goal. Mercury, 35 metres out, goes at goal, but has missed the lot. It's out of bounds in the right forward pocket.
Well, that's most unmarked Mercury-like, isn't it?
Yes.
Dennis, that was a very poor effort in the end, but you had a bit of time, but non-stop run forward there by the Bombers. Very good play getting the ball into the forward line.
Alessio, Deer, Hurd, Deer from behind. Oh, great snap by Denham. Has got the goal. Denham puts Essendon back in front. Essendon 2-3. Richmond 2 goals.
Yes, the Bombers do look a lot sharper around midfield. And there's one of the midfielders there, Denham, up on that forward line. Great snap on his natural left foot. And former Geelong player, played about 44 games with the Cats.
7 positions already, Bernie, for Denham. 4 and 3.
And also O'Donnell doing pretty well for the Bombers in midfield.
Play restarts. Alessio and Dia clash. Alessio, the hand pass not particularly good. Maxfield had it knocked away. Out of the middle, it's O'Donnell who's doing very nicely. Hardwick squares the ball. Great vision across the ground, and Mercedes got it just outside the 50. O'Donnell has started well as well. Mercedes pumps it into the forward line. Off hands, it falls forward. Hardwick's in trouble out there, and the umpire's called for a ball up. O'Donnell, 11 possessions, if you don't mind, to the moment.
Hardwick 6-2.
Playing on Broderick, I think, Gary O'Donnell. Broderick's had 1 kick and 2 hand passes.
So O'Donnell, the dominant player in this game at the present time. Pretty scrambly in there. Free over the ball. And Denham in hard against him. Denham a key player last week in that resurgence against Geelong. A lot was made of the effort of Darren Buick, and rightly so, but Denham also very effective in that come-from-behind victory. Bauer, high kick down towards half forward. Well done by Ridley. Gathered the bouncing ball. Probing kick inside the 50. Simons appeared to have an arm draped over his shoulder, and then Turner eventually is penalised for holding the ball.
Yeah, good work there by Michael Simons. Terrific stuff. There it is. There should have been a free kick, as Dennis Committee called. Infringement there against Turner, and then I don't know what Turner. He seemed to have a look at the umpire there for a fraction. Maybe he was waiting. Yes, it may have been.
Yeah, I did it. It was me.
Now look at this run up from Michael Simons.
Yes, starts his long journey. I hope he's bred to stay. He'll kick from about 25 metres out. It's good.
It worked this time.
Going to be the Melrose for Christmas, are you, Bernie?
So 1 goal to Simons. James Hurd's kicked 1, Simons 1, and Sean Denham, the other Essendon player, who kicked a goal. Now, the Bombers doing it pretty well. Michael Simons filling in very nicely for the Bombers at full forward in the absence of Paul Salmon. Not overly tall, but can take a very strong mark.
Simons has kicked 1-1. The Bombers lead 3-3 to 2 goals. Richmond have been forward twice for those 2 majors. Essendon doing most of the scoring. Alessio tries to get it out. Buick and Denham busy off the ground. O'Donnell, we put that down as a kick. He's doing pretty well. 12 possessions so far. That could be high on Mercury. Not seen and not paid by the umpire. Maxfield, good hip and shoulder. Umpire Brian Sheen says a throw. Richmond free kick.
Throw against Mercury. In fact, a couple of his hand passes have been a little bit questionable early in the match.
Broderick to Bauer. Bauer at right centre wing. The Tigers needing something to happen. They need a big mark from Gale. They're not going to get it here. Thompson reads the play best at the back of the pack. Oh, Essendon players everywhere. Mercedes gives it out and away they go. This is Calthorpe. Gets it back again from Alessio. This is Mercedes once more, and still they come. Kicks it down to Cockatoo Collins. Calthorpe is at right half forward. Centering kick, beautifully delivered to Barry Young against his old side, and Young marks in front of Paul Bullis.
The defence of this Essendon side very good. Wanganeen, Thompson, Ridley playing well at centre-half back. Fletcher playing at full-back on Brendan Gale. The way they deliver that ball out of defence into attack. The players running everywhere.
But nothing from Brendan Gale so far. But to be fair, the ball hasn't really come down there. Barry Young, 35 metres out. Gets the goal. Essendon go further ahead. Young's first, Essendon's 4th, and the Bombers 4-3. Richmond 2 goals.
It's very strong around midfield at the moment, and really Richmond not getting much from the midfielders. Free's been very quiet. He's only had 2 kicks. Knights also hasn't featured much in the play. 1 kick to Matthew Knights, no hand passes. They really need these players to be firing up the Tigers, and Broderick 2 kicks and 2 hand passes. He's been averaging about 26 disposals a match.
Back in the middle, the margin 15 points. That's a free kick going to Broderick, I think. Broderick or Dia. 4-3, plays 2 straight. In fact, Dia's got the ball. Feeds it out wide. This is Bond. Bond on the wing, kicks down inside the 50. Put himself under pressure there. Over the top was Gale. Murphy close to the boundary line. Can't keep it in. And it will be thrown in. Austin Murphy making his debut this afternoon, number 34 for the Tigers. Picked up in last November's draft. In the top 10. Boundary throw in. Broderick got a fist to it. Calthorpe got a boot to it. Back towards the wing. Bauer in front. Did pretty well. Pay the mark umpire.
Yes. Good effort, Bauer. About 4 bites of the cherry.
He's forward of the wing, having plenty to say about just where Alessio is standing. Kicks inside the 50. Taylor made for Fletcher, but Fletcher was more conscious of the man than the ball, and Gale has taken the mark.
First touch.
Well, Gale, the only player with any intent on going for the mark here, is Fletcher really tried to outbody Brendan Gale. He's a big boy, Brendan Gale. 198 centimetres. Fletcher's not a shorty by any means also, but bad tactics there by Dustin Fletcher.
Probably a hangover from playing on Gary Ablett. Where is he? There's Gale. No Gary Ablett, but he kicks a goal. Well done. Richmond 3 goals, Essendon 4-3.
And as I said before, they're certainly getting full value for their forward thrust. 3 goals straight to the Tigers. Brendan Gale playing at full forward, having his first kick, taking his first mark and kicking very accurately. And a big player, a good, strong, solid performer on the Richmond forward line.
Brendan Gale's first goal. The difference is back to 9 points in favour of Essendon. Deer from Alessio. Hardwick dragged, didn't have the ball, and he'll take the free kick. The kick number 7 for him. He's doing well, the Bomber rookie. Gives away the hand pass. Mercuri's kick lands at centre half forward. Simon surely gave his opponent a decent old nudge. Bond to free. Get him late on the scene. Rogers, good attempt. In fact, a good mark. Rogers short of right half forward. Tigers starting to show a little bit towards the end of the first quarter. Gee, almost a mark there to Murphy. Couldn't quite drag it down. Fletcher, a chance. Goes off the ground to Thompson. Murphy's got him. Is that holding the ball? Crowd wants it.
You don't like that, Dennis?
Well, taken front on.
Well, he did have a look, I think, and that's what the umpire may have taken into account. It's a very good tackle, solid tackle by Murphy, the Richmond debutant.
Came from the Central under-18s. Matthew Knight's telling him that's where the goals are. I think he knows. Let's see what sort of a kick he is. Nicely built, lad. .55 metres out. Well, good kick distance-wise. Accuracy just leaves a little bit to be desired. That's his first score in AFL, a minor one, and Richmond's first behind for today. 3-1 to 4-3 at Princes Park. Or Optus Oval if you prefer. Just under 4 minutes left in the first quarter, and Dustin Fletcher to bring the ball back.
That's very short. Grenvold still well inside the 50. Again short. Oh, Denham did well. Right on
that
the
was
50.
a solid mark, wasn't it, by Denham? Bauer just attacked him.
Across the ground he goes. They're making it interesting. Thompson gets it away to Ridley. This is Hardwick in some space now, about 75 metres from goal as he kicks down towards full forward. Watson is down there. Kellaway got a fist on it. Simons, as he grabbed around the leg, play on's the call. It's out of bounds.
Well, that's reportable, isn't it, if you go on what happened last week?
Not worth a free kick there.
Right.
Well, that is a trip. There's no doubt about that. That was a trip by Turner on Simons.
Ask Paul Cooper all about it.
So boundary throw-in. Yeah, wasn't that a tough decision? Knocked down in front. Over the ball was Mercury, going nowhere. Cockatoo Collins out of the congestion.
Goal.
Has it bounced through? I think it has. Turner claims he touched it. No, says the goal umpire. Cockatoo Collins making something out of nothing.
5-3 to 3-1. So a little bit of controversy with the attempted trip, and then a terrific goal by Cockatoo Collins.
There certainly was. It just bounced over the line. Turner claiming he got a touch to it, but
Not
in and
even
out.
close.
Not even close, Turner. And Cockatoo Collins and Michael Simons are leading goal kickers for the Bombers with 15 goals.
Great goal by Che Cockatoo Collins, Essendon's 5th. Dia beats Alessio. Buick looks for a free kick. Masiti from the circle, kicks out wide. Oh, good mark to Hurd again. Quickly to Buick. Buick to Cockatoo Collins again. Gale's there with him. Good tackle. Gale, not a clean possession. Finally to Broderick, who's been quiet in the first quarter. O'Donnell's done better. This is Campbell. Campbell looking for options on a Bond. Knights. Bauer. Around Mercury. Still he goes. Bond kicks to half forward. Murphy couldn't quite get there. Gale, he's already kicked one goal from a strong mark. Snapshot, looks good and gets it! Great kick! Brendan Gale gets his second, and Richmond come back again, 5-3 to 4-1.
A couple of chances to tackle at midfield. Mercury had a chance to tackle Bauer. I was more worried about what Bauer was going to do, or his intentions were, instead of laying the tackle. And there the ball just spilling, getting out of Fletcher's reach. The big fella showing a lot of agility there, Brendan Gale. Terrific snap.
8 points the difference. The emergency umpire going on the ground as a fight. And that ball bounced past the two protagonists, Maxfield and Hardwick. Meantime, it's Knights who kicks inside the 50. Waiting behind, Howard claims a mark, touches the umpire. Howard back to goal, 55 metres out, kicks it virtually straight up in the air. They come from all directions. Calthorpe fisted away. Denham didn't have it, surely. Play goes on. Ridley to Thompson. Now it's with Buick. Mercury wants it. He's got it. The defensive side of the wing, back to Buick. Surging run through the middle. Kicks inside the 50. Simons on the lead. Great footing.
Brilliant dash from midfield there by Darren Buick. Great to see a player decide to take on the opposition. There he is, and look at the delivery there to Simons. I'll tell you what, Simons filling in very admirably at full forward in the absence of Paul Salmon.
Quite a contrast in their styles.
Certainly the fast leading style of Michael Simons as opposed to Paul Salmon. He was a very good lead early in his career, but seems to be intent on out-bodying these days.
Here's Simons. His 50-metre approach. Kicks from 40 metres out, and it's a goal. His second. The Bombers 6th. And they lead by 14 points.
Oh, they've had the majority of the play, there's no doubt about that. The Bombers certainly have controlled around midfield. Mercury, the hand pass off. There he goes. The first 5 or 6 metres, he really put the pedal to the floor. Brilliant acceleration there from Darren Buick, and a strong mark and lead out in front of his face there by Michael Simons.
Good motoring analogy there, Bernie. Pedal to the floor in the Buick. What more could you ask for? Alessio.
Where's Craig Holden?
Well, these two not happy with each other, Hardwick and Maxfield.
It'll be a Hardwick free kick. Hardwick's done well in the first quarter. 8th kick. 9 possessions. Wide for Denham, sits nicely for him. Can they get another goal as the clock ticks down to quarter time? Just what they needed, that's a mark. Now we've got 25 seconds. Mercury's kick. Hurd the target. O'Donnell overruns it. A little give. Broderick. Badly directed. Thompson has to play on. O'Donnell, who's been brilliant so far. Watson. Not his first game against Richmond. How many years ago was that? Barry Young, can he kick a goal against his old side as he kept the ball in play? Cockatoo Collins again, but the siren beats him this time. And at quarter time, the Bombers with a useful lead. They had most of the play, certainly. And Essendon leading at Princes Park, 6-3-39. Richmond 4-1-25. Second quarter from Princes Park, 6-3 to 4-1. 14 points in favour of Essendon, who had most of the scoring opportunities in the opening term. Gale kicking 2 goals for Richmond. Denham, not taken high there, but on the wrong side of umpire Brian Sheehan. Broderick almost taken a little bit too low. That might be a free kick against Buick. Points the difference as Bond kicks straight down the ground. Fletcher, good fist away. Did well on Gary Ablett in the second half last week. Deere kicks from a standing start. Ridley claims the mark. Gee, I don't think I'd like to be buying real estate from that umpire. Ridley from half back. Denham on Naish, who stands the mark. Gives it away to Calthorpe. Calthorpe's kick up towards half forward. Gale. And it's going to be a bounce. Wind not a factor here this afternoon. Very light northwesterly. Probably blowing towards that pocket in the background, but an ideal day for football. Good for marking. Deere wins again. Gale. Free. Now Joe Masiti. Inside 50. Long snap. Coming around, but not around enough, and one behind. The first score of the second quarter by Essendon's Joe Masiti. Essendon 6-4, Richmond 4-1, the difference after 15 points.
Scott Turner. Long kick towards the outer side. Deere surrounded. Masiti arches the back, gets away. Grenvold, forward of the wing, squares it. Denham. Played well. Man on the mark slipped over, so Denham skips away, kicks inside the 50. Simons, almost a big grab. Campbell could have been pulled off it. Simons with dash, socket off the ground by Maxfield though. Look out, Denham. Well played. He did that with intent. Thompson at close quarters. Hardwick back to goal, feeds O'Donnell. O'Donnell goes in short, and the mark is held low down by Mercury.
Beautiful work by the Bombers. Showing glimpses of their 1993 premiership form at the moment. A well-measured kick there by Gary O'Donnell to the fast lead of Mark Mercury.
13 possessions to O'Donnell, Bernie. Hardwick's had 10.
They're not blazing away, are they, at the moment, the Essendon side? Certainly looking for options.
Sean Denham, very clever. Eric Cantona would have been proud of that. There's Mercury, 25 metres out. Puts it through. The Bombers extend their lead.
And Mark Mercury's first goal for the afternoon. A premiership player from 1993. And here we see Sean Denham, who's been in everything so far, collected fairly heavily there by Matthew Rogers after he kicked the ball off the ground. Just wonderful support here by the Essendon players, all prepared to back each other up, and they've got a good finish to their play as well.
So the difference after 21 points now. Free puts the Tigers into attack. They need something.
Whoa!
Oh, big mark. A big attempted mark by Gale. Naish, who does best when he snaps for goal. Not this time. Should be out of bounds on the full. Essendon players looking for that.
I thought Brendan Gale may have been a little unlucky there, as we see him shoved right in the middle of the back by Fletcher.
That is spectacular, isn't it?
Certainly spectacular.
So much for the 3 umpires missing that one.
The free kick to Todd Ridley in the right back pocket. Broderick in front, Deere over the top. Could have almost been paid the mark. Masiti likewise the free kick. It's hustled over the boundary line by Bauer, and will be thrown in on centre wing.
Well, Masiti not happy with the umpiring decision there either. He claimed that he was held by the Guernsey, which he was.
So Ruckman, Alessio and Deere down to free. Soccer tactics. Deere was unsuccessful. Tape takes it over the line with assistance from Mark Mercury. Bombers gaining some 20 metres. Well, about 10 metres on their attacking side of centre. Deere this time out the back to free. Kicks from a standing start. No mark taken down there. Masiti gets the crumbs well to his skipper Bomber Thompson. Hardwick, who's been doing exceptionally well, 11 possessions now. Moves it off to Calthorpe. Watson Couldn't take the mark. Bomber fans looking for a free from the back. None there. Tape does well from the edge of the square. Kicks towards centre wing. Ball stops. Knights, who's been quiet. Grenvold gets into his back. Ball spills out the front. Masidi a chance. Good tackle by Nate. Still Masidi. Ball over the line again. And it will be thrown in once again on centre wing. 16 minutes left in the term.
And Masidi in the sandwich. Throw in on the other side. 7-4-4-1. Alessio in front. Dia from behind decisively. Free left it behind though. Denham again. O'Donnell, they're combining very well. O'Donnell's splitting kick comes down towards half forward. Cockatoo Collins, edge back under the pack. Hurd tried to knock it forward, taken by Gale. This is Tate. Nicely done. Measures the hand pass. Bullis from half back towards half forward. Big leap down there. Howard couldn't hang on though. Falls forward. Maxfield floats one inside the 50. And coming up it's Gavin Wanganeen, the Brownlow medalist. Thompson, and this is where they set it up. They get men free on the opposite side of the ground. McCurry's got it now. Goes in short to Hardwick. He plays on. Good evasion. Back it comes to McCurry. They're toying with the Tigers at the moment. McCurry inside the 50. Hurd goes back, almost the juggled mark. In trouble Campbell, straight to Buick. Buick kicks it towards full forward. Turner hooks it back and concedes a behind. They are dangerous, Essendon, as they work it into their forward line.
12 effective scoring shots to 5, and the difference is 22 points. Turner favouring marginally the outer side. Here looking for a free kick for a nudge in the back. The umpire says there is none there. Tony free. Ridley underneath it. Murphy overruns it. Broderick likewise fires out the hand pass. Broderick again onto Maxfield. Inside 50, can score a goal and hits the post. So luck not going the Tigers' way. Stuart Maxfield's first score and a minor one, 7-5 to 4-2. The difference back to 21 points.
He's not a great finisher, Maxfield.
4 kicks today. Fletcher, gee, went very close to the line with that kick. Dia punches from Alessio. Nation Masiti. Nation's first to get there. Long hand pass. Let's see if Maxwell can finish this off. Gets onto his left foot. Turns around. That looks pretty good. It's better. It's coming back. Just a little bit too far. I think he's missed again. No, he hasn't missed again. It's a goal. So Maxfield gets his first goal. He's kicked 1-1 in the last minute. 7-5 to 5-2. 15 points in Essendon's favour.
Great finisher, that Maxfield.
Well, that was much better, wasn't it, Dennis? The easy one he missed, and this one a much more difficult. Chance from about 40 metres, 42 metres. Maxfield really went for that one.
Back in the middle. The Tigers clinging at the moment. This is Rogers across the ground. Free comes up to meet it. Awkward bounce for him. Masidi over the top. Rather tentative hand pass. Masidi comes back. Grenvold, strong tackle. Nate's got him down. Howard on the burst, right on the 50. Goes long down towards full forward. A lot of body work down there. Fletcher, timely fist. Angles it back through behind.
Tim Watson coming from the field, and Ryan O'Connor about to come on. Watson very quiet so far, playing in that forward pocket. Had only the one touch. That was a kick in the first quarter.
Matthew Knight's only 3 possessions so far. If I'm not mistaken, copped a hard knock in the opening 5 minutes. He was moving gingerly for some time after that. Claiming the mark was Dia, not paid. O'Connor almost sat on the ball. And the ball up. That could deflate it. He's a big fellow.
Did well when he came on last week, Dennis.
103 kilograms, Ryan O'Connor.
O'Donnell away to Thompson. Towards half forward. Tape. Did well. Came to meet it. Kellaway in trouble. Surrounded. McCurry to Hardwick. Nicely done. Hardwick twisting and turning. Lays it off. Not a good hand pass intended for O'Donnell, who applied a strong tackle on Kellaway. O'Connor. Alessio. They're fooling around with it. Hardwick for Denham. Now they've got some space. Denham. About 80 metres from goal. A centering kick. Simons can run into an open goal. 35 metres out. He gets another one. He's third.
So the margin out to 20 points now here. The Bombers doing well. They did mess around with the ball a lot on the wing here, but Sean Denham deciding to go long. And Simons, a nice little bump on his opponent there in Turner, got him out of the play and out of position. And in the end had a pretty easy shot from about 30 metres. Terrific play by Simons. He has kicked 3.
3 goals, 1 kick by Michael Simons. The difference again out to 20 points in Essendon's favour. Richmond just hanging on. That's the impression you get at the moment. This youngster's been terrific. Hardwick on to Buick, down to Simons' territory again.
Great play by the Bombers at the moment. Around midfield, the player doing the damage, Sean Denham. 8 kicks and 7 hand passes. He's been in everything, as has Gary O'Donnell. 7 kicks and 8 hand passes to him. And Michael Simons.
Well, they're losing nothing with him at full forward, Bernie.
No, with his 60-metre run-up. I've never seen a player go back this far.
Well, Paul Salmon can take about half an hour sometimes to kick the ball, so as I said, they're losing nothing. They could use Salmon in the ruck. What an asset that'd be. That's a great kick. Terrific kick. 4 goals to Simons.
I'll take that back about this kicking coach also. Michael Simons, 4 goals, 1. A very lively performer at full forward, getting away from Scott Turner. And there's that man I was talking about, Sean Denham, with the hand pass. Just excellent support by the Bombers. Beautiful pass again by that man, Darren Buick. And great leading by that player on screen, Michael Simons.
Has this only happened this week, this long approach? What did he do last week, Pete? Can you remember?
I can't. I don't think he was running that far.
Looked like a throw there.
Frank Shorter probably got him during the week. There's Maxfield. Inside the centre square, goes wide, going back. A good mark is taken on the outer side by Broderick. Paul Broderick starting to come into the game now. It's a gutsy effort going back. Coming up for his 9th possession. And they need a goal here. They're down by 4 goals, 2 at the present time. 26 points. Just over 11 minutes to half-time. Broderick, long kick, accurate kick. Quick reply. 9-5, 6-3 at Princes Park.
It was a lovely finish there again by Paul Broderick. Averaging 26 disposals a game. A little bit quiet in that first quarter. And certainly coming into it in this second quarter, he's now had 9 disposals, 4 kicks and 5 hand passes. There's a mark again.
So the Tigers get back to, once again, 20 points. O'Connor barges his way through. Campbell punches down. Mercury goes at it hard. Breaks 1 tackle. That was nearly taken low as well. Shot at goal. Looks pretty good. Oh, great kick. Terrific stuff. Mark Mercury gets his second, and it's goal for goal here at Princes Park. 10-5 to 6-3.
There's 2 goals to Mercury, both coming in this second quarter. They've made the change of Bombers. Watson off the ground. Ryan O'Connor's doing the ruck work. Almost a trip there on Mercury, but showed terrific balance there, regaining his feet. And a great shot at goal.
10-5, 6-3. Naish. Back come the Tigers. Grenville tracking the ball. Keeps it in front. Wanganeen with dash close to the boundary line. Howard came in strongly on him, and the ball goes out of bounds.
What? Free kick in the back, he said.
What for?
Well, I don't know.
Well, I don't think anyone knows.
Just being a Brownlow medalist might be enough. Wanganeen. Very itsy, that one. Wanganeen towards the wing. Mercury props in front. O'Connor, almost a big grab over the top. Naish. Away to Broderick, about 60 metres from goal. Goes in short. Good kick, 2 free. Drops the mark. Now runs away from goal. Right on the 50. Pulls it back across his body. Gale is out of position. Goes back. Almost a terrific mark. Fletcher got it on the ground somehow. Wanganeen with poise to Fletcher. Denham. Probably now best on ground. He's in the back pocket. Away he comes. Kicks towards the wing. Ill-directed this time. And Dia, uncontested, goes back in short. Naish, 55 metres from goal. Hits the ground running. Mercury got him. Great tackle. Socket off the ground by Denham. Taken by Mercury. trying to knock it on O'Donnell. They're going in pretty solidly. Maxfield, hand passes to the advantage of Howard. That could have been in the back. Wanganeen against the flow, tries to keep it in front. O'Connor was trying to help but hindered, and we've got a whistle and a ball up.
The game certainly seemed to have lifted a couple of notches in the second quarter. Much intensity being shown by both sides.
Bombers with a good lead. Downs 45 metres out from the Tigers' attacking goal. Dia stands up in the tackle. Well, that's interesting. That is very interesting. O'Donnell, I think, has...
Well, that's around the neck, isn't it?
I would have thought so. I would have thought so.
O'Donnell's head was a football there for a minute.
Well, umpire Sheehan having to make an on-the-spot decision there. He wouldn't have seen too much of that before.
No, it wasn't lace out either, definitely. Holding decision going Richmond's way. Roderick or Dia is going to take it. Dia.
I think the ruck infringement being awarded. Holding on there maybe by O'Connor, holding the front of Dia's Guernsey. Well spotted by the umpire if that was the decision.
So Greg Dia, the Gardner medal way back in 1985. Outside 50. Gale, the target. Good punch by Fletcher. Sort of stuff he did in the second half against Gary Ablett to good effect. Cockatoo Collins, the educated grubber along the ground to see it clear of Bauer, and it will be thrown in right on 50.
I think a free kick's being awarded here, Peter.
It is.
Just not too sure what that was for. It must have been after
down the ground.
The kick by Cockatoo Collins.
Masiti has it. Up to the boundary line with the kick. Oh, Hardwick! Great grab over Dia. And is that 50? It will be. Hardwick, one of the stars of the Bomber effort so far today. 3 marks, 10 kicks, 5 hand passes, and the candidate for mark of the round. Certainly with that grab.
It's good effort, wasn't it, Pete? And foolish play by the Tigers, giving Hardwick a chance to kick a goal. The 50-metre penalty very costly.
And Mark is well inside 50, about 40 out. He'll be kicking probably from just about on the line. He's a good kick. Goes at goal. And gets it. Costly turnaround. Hardwick's first. Bombers go further ahead. 11-5 to 6-3. And Princes Park or Optus Oval. Here it is again. The mark worthy of a third look.
Yes, up very early. Jumped into the back of Greg Dia. And then the 50-metre penalty brought him to about 45 metres. And he finished it off beautifully. The recruit from Springvale. Playing well on the wing against Maxfield.
Could be a match-winning lead, this. Rucks go at it again. Dia, the taller man, wins it down, and it's going to be his free kick as well.
In fact, Maxfield's been moved to half-forward.
Dia down towards half-forward. Out comes Murphy, and that's a good grab.
Yeah, that's a great grab.
First
right
mark.
in front of Wanganeen.
Justin Murphy.
Only 18 years of age, recruited from the under-18 competition. Picked up at number 3 in the 93 national draft.
Good build on him, Bernie, for a footballer.
Coached by Ray Jordan, so no doubt he's been well schooled. He kicks from just inside the 50. Good looking effort. It's a goal.
First goal in the AFL.
And in the meantime, Rogers off for the Tigers. He's been replaced by Mark Neild, and also Cockatoo Collins has been taken from the ground. He's having a spell on the interchange. Good mark there by Murphy. And on for the Bombers is Dale Kickett.
So back to the centre. Murphy gets his first goal in the AFL. O'Donnell, kick smothered. It went to Bauer, who lost it. Dia kicks it to half forward. Bounce important here. Maxfield robes it best. Good shepherd by Murphy. Long kick. Mark to Gale.
Great mark. Great mark, Brendan Gale.
Terrific grab. One of the best pair of hands in the competition. Brian Sheehan's going to bring him right around. Let's look at this again. He was held, one-handed, dragged it in. Terrific stuff.
Yes, Fletcher at the moment, I think, very intent on the body-on-body work rather than attacking the ball, which he did so very well last year. 198 centimetres is Brendan Gale up against 196 in Fletcher. So a good match-up in size.
Gale's been brought round at a terrible angle. Oh, kicks right into the post. Wouldn't believe it, would you? Yes, you wouldn't believe it. Brendan Gale, 2 goals, 1. 11-5 to 7-4. Gaelic football was still in play. Could have had another shot at it.
Well, I'm not sure that Fletcher can wobble the post, can he? The near post, he was wobbling.
Standing on it, wasn't he? Or
yeah, he was pushing it.
Yeah. Which is also
a reportable offence, isn't
right,
it? It is a reportable offence.
Dobbers.
It's got a little bit silly that. Anyway, let's call the game. This is Denham. Knights, who's been quiet. I think I might agree with you.
I think going back...
he might be a little bit proppy after that knock he got in the first 5 minutes.
Going back to Brendan Gale, I think the kick there would have been the check side of the banana kick from that position.
So boundary throw in centre wing. Deere knocks it on. Thompson had it, lost it. Broderick coming into the game in the second quarter, held a long time in the tackle by Mercury. Now it comes out to Neal, who's just come onto the ground. Mercury tries to knock it further forward. Hardwick does that. He's been brilliant. Gale tries to pick it up cleanly, eventually does so. Howard onto Bond. High kick. Gale this time. Thompson late on the scene. Markle free kick.
Mark's been paid. And Mark's been paid to Brendan Gale, who's causing the young Essendon full-back plenty of headaches. Justin Fletcher, only 19 years of age.
Well, he did the right thing there.
I don't think Bob Thompson was too happy with the end result.
He's got to think about taking the arms in a situation like that, doesn't he?
Yeah, knocking the arms
across. Yeah.
So Brendan Gale, for his 30, he's kicked 2 goals, 1. And they've got a problem here, as it was earlier. This time he is drifting off. It's a goal. So Gale gets his 3rd, and Richmond hang in 8-4. They trail Essendon 11-5.
There's Bomber Thompson off for Essendon, and coming onto the ground for his first run is Ben Doolan going to half-back to pick up Maxfield. Here we see this mark again. Brendan Gale doing the right thing, getting in front. Not a really terrific effort there by the full-back Fletcher in trying to spoil.
So a nice rally here by the Tigers, who are getting out of their depth. Denham knocks it straight to Broderick, who kicks it down towards half-forward. Can they get a late goal here as well? No, not this time. Calthorpe comes away. Puts it down towards half-forward. Into open space kick at about 60 metres from goal. The margin back to 19 points now. The crowd crying that he was off. Kick it. Maintains the line, though, and kicks towards the kick-off line. Simons, they can't do that.
That was in the Warwick Cuppa mode. Hands on the shoulders very early.
Like a bolting horse. So Turner gets the free kick. 11-5, 8-4. Tigers have got the last 2 goals. Kneeled up in front, interfered with, advantages paid. They've got more run at the present time. Gale brought down by O'Donnell. It was a great tackle. Little side foot through the pack by Mercury. Came back to him from Young. Young put down strongly. Holding the ball, says the umpire. And Bauer will get the free kick. Well, Young's hand pass not particularly good. Just selling his teammate Mercury into trouble. Bauer boots it out wide. Up in front was Naish. He's played a part in the revival. This is Knights to Broderick. Back to Knights. And tidy. It was intended for Bauer. Down went Mercedes. Picked up by Kellaway. Straight to Wanganeen. Mercury is on across the ground. Well, the moment has passed, at least for the present. Given off to Ridley. Mercury continues to run. Well, he was by himself for a long time. He's got the ball on the outer side. Mark Mercury.
Mercury on right centre wing for Essendon. Mark taken by Young. Gives it back. Mercury again. This time from right half forward. Bounce important here. Simons out in front of Turner. Knocks it on. Denham will go off the ground. Great soccer tactics. Tries it again. No. Snapshot. Goal.
Great goal.
Denham, very lively, 5 marks, 10 kicks, 7 hand passes, and capped it off with that goal, 12-5 to 8-4.
Brilliant play by Denham. Mercury's been damaging also the kick into the forward line. Simons, terrific lead by him again. Great attack on the ball, getting that tap into the path of Denham. Just pretends to go for that kick off the ground again. It wasn't sitting right for him, and Campbell ran straight past it, allowing Denham to snap that one over his shoulder.
That's the sort of goal they would draw up at Harvard. Here comes O'Donnell in trouble. Down went Bond. Spills wide, taken by Buick. The last 15 minutes or so has been terrific in this game. Both sides. Hardwick to Watson, 60 metres from goal, pushed off the kick. Goes inside the 50. Campbell knees it back towards the half-back flank. This is tight. Run down from behind. Watson got him, and the ball goes out of bounds.
Yes, Tim Watson just back on the ground as replaced Barry Young. Had the opportunity there for a moment. The surprise move of the interchange being made. He was a free agent there for quite some time.
Margin 25 points. Boundary throw in. Dia in front, slaps it down. Wrestle to the ground was free. Neal took a while but got the ball across to support. Tate runs it towards the boundary line, gets it across. Well measured kick.
He's perfected that one, hasn't he? 2 in a row there for Tate. As Neal comes off the ground, and he's been replaced by Rogers.
Yes. Buick and Bond jostle in the foreground. Alessio wins this one. Wrenching the ball from an opponent there was Grenvold. The hand pass not particularly good. Bauer to Maxfield. Maxfield kicks it down towards centre half forward. Tailor-made for Wanganeen, but he was put off his stride.
Kicked to Murphy.
Well done by Murphy. He propped in front, and Wanganeen, who had the run, suddenly was off stride and interfered.
It did look tailor-made, didn't it, for a screamer there from Wanganeen. Murphy just propping, and Wanganeen running straight into the back of Murphy. He kicked beautifully. That last goal he kicked in this, well, his first and only goal, but that came in this quarter, but he did kick that ball beautifully on that occasion.
He's directly in front, and he's kicking from about 45 metres out. Justin Murphy. Lovely kick, his second goal.
Not a bad first-up performance by this boy, Justin Murphy. Only 18 years of age, recruited from the VSFL under-18 competition. And playing on last year's Brownlow medalist Gavin Wanganeen. Not too many better back pocket players in the AFL competition than Wanganeen, so certainly earning his stripes early in his career.
Murphy gets his second goal. The Tigers still hang in. Bond kicks across his body, left foot. Bounce important here. It's going to favour Masiti. Gets the hand pass away quickly to Calthorpe. Bauer putting pressure on him. He'll be quite content to take it out. He is. It's out of bounds centre wing. Clock ticks down to under 2 minutes before half-time. Spirited second term. Essendon on 2 or 3 occasions have threatened to split this game wide open, but Richmond have stayed with them. Alessio, not caught by 2 of them, still managed to get a kick away. Kick it to Hardwick, who's been brilliant. Gale hasn't got him. Kicks from outside 50. He's a long kick going. Goal. It's there. Bounces. Is it still in play? It is. It's stopped right on the line. Simons tried to get the hand pass away to O'Connor. He does, but the boundary line is too close.
Great tackle there by Paul Bullis on Michael Simons.
That was the kick, though. Bounced in the air on the line. O'Connor tried to find Buick. Bird is there. Bond's got him. Denham, Simons, ball rushed through from behind. So 1 point to the Bomber cause. 12-6 to 9-4. The difference once again 20 points. It seems to have been for most of the quarter. Turner to kick in. Again, just marginally favouring the outer side. Deere is his target. Has to beat 2 of them. Denham, who's been brilliant. Runs into Knights. He's got a chance to get the ball from Ridley. Free over the top of him on the shoulder, says the umpire. Free kick going Essendon's way.
A lot of guts there.
Certainly did.
Ridley across the ground. Hardwick will need to go. Good effort to mark. Recovers pretty well. Strong tackle got him down. Rogers. Touch ball, actually, so all of that for no mark. Had he held it.
He had to show a bit there also, didn't he? Hardwick going back with the flight of the ball.
Margin 20 points inside the last minute of the first half. Alessio goes up. Dia wins it down. Dia dominating. Knights. Broderick somehow got through. Kellaway, the Tigers, looking for a last hurrah here. Kellaway inside the 50. Gale has been splendid in the air. Couldn't hang on that time. Naish gets it to Murphy. Murphy pulls it back. Back goes O'Donnell to claim the mark. His 17th possession to Hardwick, who's been very good through his legs. Hardwick's got problems. Here's Denham. Three of the best men on the ground combining there. Swung out wide to a fourth, and that's Mercury. He can go over the top to Doolan, but we're down to 8 seconds now. Alessio, in fact, has got it. But wait for the siren. Alessio kicks it down towards the 50. Last action of the half. Entertaining affair. Essendon lead 12-6 to 9-4.
You right? They're rolling? Thank you, Sandy. We've got a terrific crowd here at Princes Park, or Optus Oval, if you'd care to call it that. They've seen a very high-standard game so far, and the full forwards have both done well. Simons has kicked 4 goals for Essendon. A terrific display. He's taken some good marks and led well, and Brendan Gale, with some strong marking, has also kicked 3 goals. Essendon had most of the opportunities in the first quarter, and as such they led by 14 points at the first change, but Richmond started to get their game together a lot in the second term. Essendon threatened to break away on a number of occasions, but they just couldn't shake off some very elusive Tigers. The difference at half-time is 20 points. The Bombers leading 12-6-78, Richmond 9-4-58, as we see some highlights of the first 2 terms. Okay, Bernie. Okay. The Bears, huh? The Bears. You beauty. Geez, I hope they beat Geelong.
So do I.
Okay. Pretty high standard game, Bernie. Essendon threatened to do a lot, but they just can't shake Richmond off.
There's no 6 goals to 5 in that second quarter. A very high standard game. Of course, the conditions here excellent. You would expect that. The kicking has been, 4 goal has been very accurate. I think we've seen a very competitive game. Richmond, especially in that second term, did lift. They didn't get much out of midfield in the first quarter. Yeah, I had a lot in my ear then, Bency.
Oh, what are you
You guys don't turn your keys.
I always turn mine down.
I know that bit. That's why yours was up.
Was that former Footscray champion, Dennis Cometti?
Okay.
It's fault.
Okay.
Sorry about that, Bert.
High standard game, Bernie. Essendon threatening to break away on a number of occasions, but so far they haven't.
Yes, no, they haven't been able to. 6 goals to 5 in that second quarter. The Bombers able to extend their quarter time lead from 14 points to 20 points at half time. But I think most people wouldn't have expected such a competitive game from the Tigers, but they've been very good this afternoon. They lost out in midfield early, but certainly in that second half, Broderick started to get back in the game, as did Tony Free, and that's where they certainly got a lot of lift around that sort of area. But Paul Deere also has done a pretty good job in the ruck, I think, for the Tigers. Greg Deere. Make that Greg Deere.
Let's look at the stats for the match now. Look, obviously got to get a little bit more out of Knights, who seemed to cop a heavy knock in the first quarter. He's been out of it, and O'Donnell's been terrific. And their rookie, Damien Hardwick, Bernie, I know you've been impressed with him.
Yes, he's been very good. Centre breaks, though, 13 to 10 in favour of the Tigers. That's good work there by Greg Deere in the ruck. The kick's 106 to 69, so that is a huge difference there. 71 to 47 in the hand passes. So, as you can see, Essendon has controlled much of the ball, but when the Tigers have taken the ball into that forward line, they've certainly got full value for their forward thrusts.
Okay, so there it is at Princes Park. 20 points the difference in favour of Essendon. A terrific match. 12-6-78 the Bombers, the Tigers 9-4-58. month. Here we go. Right there was. Yeah, they're trying to pick up a lot of Tommy Hafey's dropped H's. That's what they're looking for. Or is it dropped G's? That's right, G's. All the G's. There's G's everywhere. Running and jumping and spitting and fighting.
Hopping and bumping. Beautiful. Welcome back to the MCG.
Yeah, I think about it. Caught me doing that one day.
Mercurie's had 16 possessions.
Don't spare the horses, Pete. All right.
No, the guy down there at the bucket, I'm sure, would agree with you. Points the difference in favour of Essendon at the start of the third quarter. Tigers needing the first goal. Deere goes hard at it. Masiti. First kick for the term down towards Kickett. Gale, well tackled by Young. Still Kickett. Ball spills free. Rogers succeeds in getting the ball over the boundary line for a throw-in. Left half forward for Essendon. Bombers kicking 6-3 in both the first and second terms. Threatened to bolt right away with the game in the second quarter. O'Donnell, who's been brilliant, tried to do a Gary Ablett, got it to Masiti. Now Kickett. Little give to Young, back to O'Donnell, from left half forward, right on 50. Made for her, who takes the mark in front of Campbell.
This has been a bit quiet since the first quarter, James Hird.
Saw some good marks, Bernie. What he has done has been terrific.
He's taken 5 marks for the afternoon. He's kicked 1 goal, one coming in the first quarter. Indeed, I think it was Essendon's first goal for the afternoon.
So James Hird, directly in front, 30 metres out. Doesn't miss these, and hasn't missed that one. It's the start that Kevin Sheedy wanted, but not John Northey. So he gets his second. Essendon's 13-6 to 9-4.
I'm not sure about playing Wayne Campbell across half-back on James Hird, or even in any sort of defensive position, because he is one of Richmond's better playmakers, Wayne Campbell. And maybe still a little bit affected from that Achilles operation that he had about 3 or 4 weeks ago.
Margin out to 26 points. Deere, who's done well, opposed to Alessio. Deere got it down. Denham, possibly the best on the ground, knocked it as far as Broderick. This is Bauer. Swings it out wide. Howard leads in the race. Awkward bounce for him. Played it well. Gets it down to Bond. Tidy hand pass intended for free. Denham gets it back to Ridley. Awkward one for Masiti. Howard's over the ball. Good work by Ridley. Calthorpe got it to O'Donnell. Down goes Grenvold. Howard gets it away to Knights. Nicely done. Pulls it back across his body. Down towards full forward. Gale is up. Fletcher in close attendance. Close to the line. Murphy. Quick thinking, but hand passed the ball into Fletcher. And it ricochets out of bounds.
It's very untidy work back there at centre wing by Bond. They had no pressure on him. Just a terrible hand pass, missing his target.
Generally today, Essendon have looked the better side, but Richmond sticking at it. One down by Fletcher. Grenvold. It ricochets to O'Donnell this time, who boots it back towards the wing. Young on his chest. Denham. He's been terrific. Storms through the middle. Kicks inside the 50. Simons comes on the lead. Almost the mark. Jarred free. Cockatoo Collins. Shrugs Turner's tackle. Kicks down towards full forward. And it's going to be paid a mark to Tate. Some use of the body there by Campbell. Got hurt out of the contest. I thought for a moment it may have been a free kick. This is Turner. Got it from Bond. He kicks down towards the half-forward line. Ridley got a fist on the ball. Picked up by Naish. He's been lively. Gets it back to Free. 55 metres out from goal. Sets it up for Gale. Over the top, Fletcher. Gale finds the ball on the ground. Snaps. It's a wayward kick. It's out of bounds on the full. Gale's got 3, but not close that time.
Free kick to Gavin Wanganeen. Out to Denham. He's carried on his good work from the first 2 quarters. Sean Denham, 13 and 9, plus 6 marks and 2 goals. Very close to the boundary line. Ridley has been paid the mark. Now Ridley, didn't see too much of him last year. Trying to cement a permanent place in the Bomber lineup. And now taken there. Grenbold from Masiti to Hurd. Snares it beautifully. Runs in and kicks it behind.
Gee, that's unfortunate. That would have been a sensational goal had he been able to kick that one, James Hurd. He tested the mark. Very quick on the ground. They're getting away from Wayne Campbell. Picked up the ball beautifully one-handed. Would have been the goal all around, I would have thought, had he been able to kick that one.
13-7 to 9-4. Turner to kick in. 16 minutes left in the term. He's not a factor this afternoon. Straight down the ground pretty well. Grenvold over the top with a big fist, succeeds in getting it through. O'Donnell farms it out well. Denham, he's everywhere. Low trajectory, drop punt in towards full forward. Mark to Simons.
He's very good overhead, isn't he, Michael Simons? He's a very strong grab. There's not a lot of him. 180 centimetres to be playing in a key forward position there, up against Scott Turner, the Richmond full-back.
Well, he leads well, marks well, and so far Bernie has kicked well up, apart from the 30-metre run-up for his first attempt this afternoon.
Well, Turner's got a 16-centimetre height advantage on this player. That was a very good mark out in front.
Turner for his 5th. He's kicked 4 goals, 1 so far. Well, Simons for his 5th. Then he gets it. So 5 goals, 1 to Michael Simons, and the Bombers go further in front early in the 3rd quarter, 14-7 to 9-4.
Yes, and he certainly has improved his kicking a lot, Michael Simons. Last year he was doing a lot of helicopter kicks, or, well, they're, Dennis, don't look at me like that. They're sort of drop punts that go astray. They're more sideways twisting drop punts.
No, that's enlightening for me. I think I was the master of the helicopter kick. So back in the middle. Nice spread by Simon so far. 2 in the first, 2 in the second, and now 1 here in the third. Diaz slung as he tried to kick. After that ball goes O'Donnell. Look at him work. Slung out of the pack though. Rogers claimed. Bond moves it on down towards half forward. Denham, who's been very, very good, could have been held without it. Bond overran it. O'Donnell again on his knees. Hardwick to Watson, and now Watson. Shocking effort. Straight to Broderick. Gets it away quickly. Taken by Naish. Naish, high kick, well inside the 50. Gale goes up. There appeared to be some interference off the ball. Denham's got it meantime. Wanganeen could have been a man who was pushed there. Still, he had the ball and goes looking for Hardwick. He couldn't control it. Murphy, the Essendon supporter, is not happy. The kick comes back to full forward. Off hands behind. Great snap goal by Free.
And an Essendon player in the hands of the trainers behind the play there. It is Hardwick. In that marking contest where he's met very severely. Richmond just hanging in there. Not doing enough really to get right back into this match, but not allowing the Bombers to take enormous control of this match. It's been a pretty good contest all afternoon in excellent conditions here, perfect conditions at Optus Oval.
27 points the difference. Tony Free's first goal. Richmond struggling to stay in touch with the Bomber lineup. Naish gets it up to Rogers. Rogers, good long kick from a short run up to half forward. Snapshot for the Tigers by Justin Murphy. Has he kicked his 3rd? He has. Terrific start by the youngster for his league career, and that was his best goal so far. Had 2 quick goals to Richmond again, makes the difference, 21 points.
Yes, great snap, wasn't it? Terrific snap by this young Richmond player playing his first game, Justin Murphy. Read it beautifully off the pack. He won't have too many tougher opponents than he has today in Gavin Wanganeen. 3 goals to this young player.
So the Tigers edging closer. Alessio goes up, wins it down. Broderick stood up in the tackle. Naish awaited take. He swings it out wide. Bauer stretches out, takes the mark down towards left half forward. Where will he go? To Bond, right on the 50. Bond pulls it back. Murphy in best position. Coming at him, Thompson did well. Wanganeen has it. Hardwick is breaking for him. Wanganeen goes short but out of bounds. No. It bounces just inside the field of play. Wanganeen met solidly in a boundary throw-in. So suddenly, this game finding some life. Throw-in outside the 50. 14-7, 11-4. The Bombers by 21 points. Howard props in front. Ridley reaches over the top. It falls to Thompson. Dragged off it. Awkwardly too. Bent him. He gets up. He's okay.
Some good tackling in this turn by the Tigers. They certainly lifted their intensity. A margin 20 points at half-time. And 2 late goals there have brought Richmond right back into this.
Thrown in. Over the top, Dia. Knight's behind, 52 metres out. Long kick down towards full forward. Fletcher goes back. Over the top. Free couldn't control that one. Fletcher does nicely. Away they come. Young, a little indecisive. Got it back to Fletcher. Over the top, intended, I think, for Cockatoo Collins. He's working in tandem with Young. The whistle's still blowing. Umpire Garrett wants the ball to come back this time. It will be a free kick.
A free kick against Brendan Gale for pushing the back on Fletcher. There's no advantage there, so the right decision being made there by the umpire, bringing it back to Fletcher.
Dustin Fletcher. His dad Ken, captained the Bombers for 3 seasons. One of best and fairest in 78. It comes in towards midfield. Cockatoo Collins was taken high. Watson was the man who pumped it in initially, and he's run on, but we've got a whistle, and it's coming back to Bomber Thompson inside the centre square.
Or is it going to Cockatoo Collins, Dennis, for that high tackle?
Cockatoo Collins, it is, you're right. Away he goes through the middle. He's a little ambitious. He kicks inside the 50. Big leap by Bullis. It spills wide. Calthorpe tries to crash his way through. Confronted by Tape. In goes Bullis. Bullis follows up again on his knees. Oh, hasn't it spiced up a little bit? Whistle and the ball up.
I don't think a couple of the Essendon players all that happy with that attempted kick off the ground there by Paul Bullis. A little bit indiscriminate.
21 points the difference. Brian Sheehan puts it down again. Dia from behind. Rogers, a little give out to Callaway. And mark to Howard. Knights tried to go off the ground then without success. Or should we say with a similar success. Watson pumps it out to Masiti. A standing start, kicks inside 50, marking contest. Ball falls down to Calthorpe. Now Simons, snapshot with the right foot, has missed. He's just pulled it around a little bit too much. He's second behind for the day, 5 goals, 2 against his name.
And I tell you what, Pete, there's a real feather in the cap of young Justin Murphy, because Gavin Wanganeen's been moved out of the back pocket. Barry Young's taken his position, and Wanganeen's been moved up on the forward line.
Wanganeen, of course, does play just about everywhere, but mostly, of late, in the back pocket. Murphy's made a very good debut. Grenvold in front, tries to outmark Rogers. To Tiger ball, Tate, Knights. Here they come, this is Naish. Kicks right on 50, could just about score from there. Long kick on its way. Oh, great goal! The Tigers are alive! Well, they moved the ball from full back to full forward. 14-8 to 12-4, and we have a game.
Yeah, we certainly do. It's been a terrific performance by the Tigers in this third quarter. A spirited performance indeed. They've certainly improved since 1993. Some of the recruits who've picked up, Michael Gale's been good across half-back. Paul Broderick has lifted around the middle. And the umpire, Justin Murphy, very impressive in the forward pocket.
So we're back to 16 points. Just over 12 minutes till three-quarter time. Alessio goes up again. He's beaten by Deere. It's knocked on down there by Bauer. Masiti couldn't control it. Watson, quick hands away, taken by Hardwick. Away to Thompson on the outer side, but the Tigers are running hard. Good pressure again, affected the kick. Kellaway goes off the ground and gets it out of bounds inside. Essendon's attacking 50. Well, they've come to life, the Tigers. The question now is, can the Bombers respond? They've been in some epics this season, Essendon. Match hardened in tight finishes. A long way to go yet. Alessio, Dia from behind. Alessio that time got it down. Buick, who's gone right out of the game. Gang tackled. And the ball up. 11 possessions for Darren Buick so far this afternoon. Started well.
The tackling very good by the Tigers, especially in this third quarter.
That's the difference at the moment, isn't it? Suddenly applying pressure. Alessio goes up, gets it down. Back through the pack, Kellaway. Goes out towards the boundary line. Hardwick. hooking the arm around Rogers, played it pretty well, knocked it onto the advantage of Tape. Tape on the wing, goes down towards half forward. Gale storming up the ground, was bumped in the back surely. Nothing doing. Watson waits behind, tidies up. Denham, best on ground, across half back. Comes out wide to Cockatoo Collins. Just forward of half back. That's the call from the umpire and Bernie Quinlan. Kick for space. Chance for Kickett. Outside the 50. Kickett runs inside the 50. Goes towards the kickoff line. Simon's in front. Going back is Turner. And Turner fists it through for a minor score.
Michael Gale may have been a little bit fortunate there, slinging Dale Kickett after he'd kicked that ball. There's Michael Gale on screen.
His brother wasn't at the other end. Very much like a push in the back. So Campbell. Next up from the right back pocket. Should go long, does. Well-weighted kick. Rogers takes the mark at midfield. Knight's telling him where to go. In no uncertain terms, which is long. The true centre-half forward position. Gale up high with Young. Murphy farms it out. Fletcher thought about going off the ground. Gale pounces on it again. Now Fletcher to Thompson. Wobbly kick off the boot. Bounce important here. It's going to favour O'Donnell. Oh, Rogers has got him. Good tackle. Buick taken out of it by Broderick, who picks it up. He's got Knights on offer. Goes to Deer instead. I don't think he saw Knights. Deer just about held it too long. Now a chance for Richmond to go forward through Bullis. Deer once more. Broderick too far out to score. Centering kick. Essendon with the numbers. And at the back is Cockatoo Collins. Fletcher, oh, great slips catch. Right on 50. I didn't think he was going to get there. Good mark. Measures it well. O'Donnell. Started brilliantly. And Wanganeen at midfield. Very Young now playing in his position in the back pocket. Tape. It's ridden into the ground. Turner. Ball drive free in the tackle. Simons applies the Shepherd for Kickett. Simons again. High kick, travels only about 45 metres. Gale with Wanganeen. Campbell takes the ball for the boundary line. He'd be quite happy to see it over, which it is. Boundary throw to the forward pocket. Forward pocket left to Essendon under 9 minutes left in the quarter.
And I'll tell you what, Peter, there's not too many easy kicks being obtained out there at the moment. It's been a very tough and tense third quarter.
Yeah, different game this one now. Alessio once more battles with Deer. Works his way in front, hooks it down. Kickett surrounded, quickly onto the boot, gains about 15 metres. Wanganeen, almost a clever mark, finds the ball on the ground, but Knights comes away. Oh, brilliantly read. Grabbed and goal by Mercedes. Picked his pocket.
The steal of the day.
Essendon 15-9, Richmond 12-4, and that's big in the context of this game.
And it's almost a mark there by Wanganeen. Taken here by Matthew Knights. The look-away hand pass not working because Mercedes not worrying about attacking the player. He's just waiting for that hand pass. Read it beautifully. And that is a big goal. Mercedes, who lost his way there for a little while and spent a bit of time in the reserves. Mercedes may have had a premiership hangover there, but certainly has been a good contributor this afternoon for the Bombers.
So the difference back to 23 points after that steal taken by Joe Mercedes. The Bombers out of the centre again. Knights runs hard at the ball. Wanganeen taken out of the contest by Gale. Bond goes off the ground. The ball out towards the centre wing position. Watson. Nice bit of Cockatoo Collins at half forward. Essendon answering the challenge. The Tigers got to within 16 points earlier in this quarter. Centering kick, Deer. Punches, Bond. Quick hand pass. Simon, another steal. He's almost caught, throws the ball away. Good tackle by Bauer. Wanganeen in towards full forward. Kick it from behind. Couldn't mark it. Campbell around Simons. Little short left footer. Well directed, well weighted kick to Knights, who gave away that goal when Mercedes took it. That was touched off the boot, so it will be play on. That'd have been too high on Maxfield. Still he goes. Cockatoo Collins to Thompson. Maxfield, still he goes. Thompson.
Oh, good stuff.
Oh, in the back. He's paid a free kick to Essendon. Well, plenty of others he could have paid, I guess, really. It was all good body-on-body stuff, that. And Bomber Thompson comes out with the free kick.
Intended for Hurd, but Gale chips in. Goes short. Campbell had to move quickly. Cockatoo Collins was bearing down. Back it comes to Gale, who runs away from half-back, goes towards the wing. Watson camped underneath it, in from the side. Bullis. Ball runs free behind. Good shepherding by Howard. Free. Hooks it down towards Murphy. Awkward half volley. Back comes Howard. Tries to slap it on. It eluded Calthorpe. Over the ball is Naish. Naish deep in the pocket to Howard. Brilliantly charged down. Calthorpe right on the boot there. And the smother effective.
Well, you wouldn't see many better games in this one, in this third quarter especially. Both sides very intense. The pressure's been enormous. The tackling, the smothering, everything you'd like to see in a very tough, tense game.
Essendon by 23 points. They led by 20 at the half, so despite the best efforts of Richmond, Essendon have added to their lead. Bauer pushed off the ball by Mercedes, and it will be thrown in. Cool grey day in Melbourne. As Bernie said, ideal day for footy. No breeze. It's not cold. Popping in front, Howard, over the top, Ridley. Calthorpe waited for it to bounce, fell on top of it, and a whistle. So a ball up right on the 50. There's the time remaining till three-quarter time, and the job that confronts the Tigers from here. Bullis goes up, clean possession, in trouble, dragged off it. Calthorpe out of a tight situation, well, goes to the wing. Cockatoo Collins surrounded, up in front of Alessio, crawling back. Cockatoo Collins beaten by Gale. This is Tape. Tape from left half back, not a good kick.
Just a little bit untidy in their disposal at times. Richmond in this third quarter has been very costly.
Buick to O'Donnell, who started so well. 11 possessions in the first 15 minutes. Wayward kick again. Kellaway in the row. To Campbell. And Campbell from half back goes towards half forward.
Oh, great mark. Taken by Paul Bullis.
I don't think Timmy Watson would want to see that in replay.
Not a great kick, unfortunately. Got himself down there, free. Too far out to score, 55 to 60 metres, past Barry Young. Did he kick that? Boundary umpire says no.
And a great mark by Bullis, but again letting himself down. Here's the mark. Timmy providing the step ladder there. Terrific mark by Bullis, and then he let himself down with that very poor disposal.
Yeah, ordinary sort of a kick, wasn't it? So Fletcher and Gale. Fletcher wins out. Good long drop punt. Knights read it best and takes the mark on centre wing. Matthew Knights in a quiet first quarter. Starting to come back into the contest in the second term. Gale tried the one-hander. Watson applies a tackle. It's going to be a bounce. About 25 metres out from goal. John Howard, the last to get up. 15-9 to 12-4. 99 plays 76 in Essendon's favour. Fletcher again wins it. There go the Bombers. Calthorpe. Is that in the back? Oh. Bauer. Maxfield. That might have been two. Still they let it go. Bauer once more takes the hand pass. Tries to get it over Buick's head. Succeeds in doing that. Nash kicked a good long goal earlier. Can he make it two for the quarter? He can. I think it's there as it touched. Just touched on the line. Richmond fans don't like that. Must admit I thought it was over. And somebody threw a beer can. Pretty sensible stuff.
Gee.
Have to do that again, I think.
First missed the goal umpire, that beer can. So that's very dangerous. It was a full one.
Just about.
Partly full.
Very wasteful.
Must be flying pretty well. Here's the kick in. Comes to the member stand side. And the mark taken by Bauer.
So Bauer, about 60 metres from goal. That had to be touch and go. Certainly our angle. And Fletcher behind the line, but the goal umpire right there. Thompson over the ball. Tough stuff. And a bounce. 35 metres out directly in front. 15-9, 12-5. I think they're looking for someone to eject down there behind the goals, and rightly so. Up goes Gale meantime, directly down to Calthorpe though, held a long time in the tackle. Play on, says the umpire. And now a free kick is being awarded, is it? Or is he going to ball it up?
Just when Richmond had position there too, Dennis. Off and running.
So umpire Sheehan bounces it down inside the attacking 50 for the Tigers. Watson goes up, slaps it down. Broderick on his knees. Tackled by Watson. Eventually Calthorpe, who's having a good term, kicks it towards the wing. Cockatoo Collins dumps it towards the boundary. With Gale he goes, and the ball skids out of bounds, as does the Richmond defender. So a throw in. Just the attacking side of left centre wing for the Tigers. They're trying very hard. Ridley goes up, misses the ball. It comes to Howard. Pumps it inside the 50. Young Murphy on his chest.
Good luck. Now, his kicking has been brilliant for goal. Justin Murphy, who's kicked 3 goals, 1. And he has been very impressive playing in that forward pocket this afternoon.
Awkward one to mark too, Bernie, wasn't it?
It was a wobbly old kick off the boot from Johnny Howard. He's going off, in fact, John Howard, to be replaced by Paul Bullis coming back on.
So here's Murphy, a product of the Slug Jordan School of Goal Kicking. Let's see what he can do from about 35 metres. Not a bad effort. It's swinging left to right, but I think it's good enough.
4 goals. 4-1 he's kicked. 15-9 to 13-5.
2 goals coming in this third quarter. 2 goals also in the second quarter. There's a kick from Johnny Howard. A bit of a wobbly old one off the boot. Out in front, a strong chest mark there taken by Justin Murphy, only 18 years of age.
I'll give your regards to Slug. I see him during the week on a regular basis. He'll be very happy with that rap. Good kick. Now Mercedes' turn for a kick. Out of the centre, up towards half forward. Hurd juggles it well. Campbell's got him. Picked up by Callaway, or nearly picked up by Callaway. Got a little bit of a nudge in the back. Tate tries to clear it. Knights went without the footy. And it'll be a bounce. 55 metres from the Essendon goal. Clock ticking down, just over 2 minutes left before three-quarter time. 16 points. The Tigers need desperately to get the next goal. Could set it up for a pretty exciting last quarter. Deere, but to O'Donnell, back to Masiti. Bowers got him. Rogers sees the ball over the boundary line.
Yeah, they haven't let up in this third quarter. The Tigers, their intensity and pressure has been magnificent. No easy kick for the Bombers in this third term.
Certainly had some worse performances this year, but the spirit has been there right throughout the afternoon, and that's what John Northey, I'm sure, impressed upon his players during the week. The Tigers of old. Fans looking for a free there. He's in the back, but
Just a free kick there to Hardwick, I would have thought.
Yes.
Also right in front of the umpire Murray Bird. Queensland umpire officiating in the centre parts of the ground at the moment. And it appeared as though he was pushed in the back there, Dennis.
so a bounce. Alessio and Deere had a great battle this afternoon. Otters just about even in that contest, you'd reckon. See, we didn't get it anywhere there. About 1 metre. So still a different 16 points. Alessio and Deere. Deere wins this one decisively, but 3 Essendon players are there. Could have raffled it. Kick it. Back to Cockatoo Collins. And again, 3 Essendon players. In fact, they made a meal of that. Thompson, it was his mark, or could have been, should have been, shall we say, his mark. And it's left to Turner to do the tidying up work for Richmond. Turner's kick towards half forward. No mark taken. Free goes in solidly. Down goes Kickett. And the umpire having a few words to say to Paul Bullis. See what happened there.
And it's a free kick awarded against Tony Free.
Here's Denham. Around the outer side, down towards half forward. Hurd goes up. Campbell from behind slaps it out of bounds. 16 points the difference, approaching three-quarter time. Good term by the Tigers. They've reduced the half-time deficit by 4 points. Clean possession, O'Donnell. Hits the ground running. Hardwick sold into trouble, dragged off it. O'Donnell goes again. He's over the ball. He slaps it towards the boundary line. Effective. It goes out of bounds, and the clock stops at 12 seconds. 15-9, 13-5. Deere, number 14 from behind, has done very well. That time Alessio won it. Off the ground by Grenbold. Bonds in front, can't keep it in. So we're down to 3 seconds. Neither side can score from here. And Essendon will lead at three-quarter time, but the Tigers still a chance. It should be a big last quarter. Alessio and Deere. It's the latter who gets it down. Bauer wafted the ball, taken by Kickett. Three-quarter time at Princes Park. Essendon 15-9. Richmond 13-5. straight man.
Don't you think, Dennis?
You bring that picture?
Yeah, my word, I am. My word, I am.
I'm going to have a handful of papers to
Okay. All right, yeah, that'll be part of the preview.
Yeah. I've got 15 late faxes here. How many do I need to get knocked off?
I'll have a look at that. That was
Tight.
where I don't know. I'm not sure.
Yeah, when you're cutting it out, I think it's about 9 or 10. His heads are bobbing, can't pick it.
In a bobbing finish.
In a bobbing finish, so I just need one more. If it's 9, I've got 10. If it's 8, I've got 9.
Just get you to do my tax return. You can juggle anything.
Starting in the centre square is Watson.
The final quarter, Richmond only trailing by 16 points. A spirited comeback during the third quarter after Essendon had kicked the first 2 goals. So can they keep it going? Rogers takes the hand pass from midfield. It came from Bullis. Murphy, who's been terrific, a great debut by the youngster. Daffy goes at goal and he's kicked it! What a start! His first kick of the day. We didn't see him in the first 3 quarters, and he's kicked a great goal to get Richmond going. 14-5 to 15-9. The difference 10 points.
Oh, that's just the start the Tigers wanted. Bullis charged at it, centre half forward there, off to Rogers. Not a terrific kick by Rogers. And there's that young fella, Justin Murphy, applying the tackle. A hand pass from Naish, and away go the Tigers. 10 points the difference at the moment. The Tigers steaming home.
8 goal kickers for the Tigers this afternoon. So a good spread. Back in the middle. Phil at their feet. Alessio knocks it towards half forward. This is Rogers. Good touch. Across half back. Goes down towards his half forward line. Up in front Ridley. Calthorpe. Quick hands. Masidi. Little chip pass. Hardwick's got it. He's been busy, as you can see. Hardwick. Some indecision. Short. Masidi. Alongside the centre circle. Ideal day for footy. Joe Masidi goes long inside the 50. Simons, who's got 5, gave a contest. Cockatoo Collins couldn't control it off the ground by Turner. Turner leads in the race close to the boundary line. Finds the safety of the boundary line. So boundary throw in. Dia and Alessio. Alessio in front, uncontested eventually. Gains about 20 metres with a fist. And another throw in. 15-9, 14-5. They led by over 30 points at one stage in the second term, the Bombers. So Richmond have done well. Gale with dash. Broderick carries the ball down towards the wing, settles, goes back inside. Here's Knights. He's had a quiet day. Through centre, kicks inside the 50. Gale, who's been good, had it fisted away. Crumbing there was Thompson. Fletcher gets it to Calthorpe. Across the ground, this is Doolan. And Doolan pops it for space in Masidi. He's forward of right half back. Hardwick runs on for him. Well, Wanganeen and Hardwick didn't sort it out too well. Wanganeen, though, on the ground, deflected it. Hardwick, the beneficiary of that, kicks inside the 50. Alessio couldn't control it. Buick back to goal. O'Donnell to Watson, 40 metres out. Standing kick. Watson's kick is good. Very important goal.
That's another great day, Jimmy Watson. His possessions, 4 kicks and 5 hand passes. Some of his disposals have been pretty ordinary. Well set up there by Buick. On the end of the hand pass was O'Donnell out to Timmy Watson. That was a terrific kick by Tim Watson, playing game number 302.
Watson gets the answering goal that Bomber fans wanted. Knights. Can Richmond come back again? Rogers on the run off the edge of the square. Long kick. Gale will be the target. Murphy's there. Couldn't take it. Naish got a fingernail to it. Young. Ridley gives it back to Young against his old side. Away go the Bombers through David Calthorpe. His kick up towards Alessio doesn't let him down. Too tall for Rogers. Masidi almost caught. Ball jarred free. O'Donnell. Little left footer. Bounce important here. Turner has to try to beat Buick. Went for the boundary line and got it.
Yeah, great defence here by Scott Turner. He's played full back all day. on Michael Simons. Simons has kicked 5 goals, but terrific defensive skills there shown by Turner.
Crucial stage of the final quarter. If Essendon get another goal, you'd think with the experience in the side they could just about go on with it. Bond, pressured, lost it, sits on it. And the bounce will take place. Still, Richmond came back well in the third quarter. As I said, Essendon got the first 2 goals, but the Tigers just plugged away. Down to Gale. Buick doesn't have the effect on the match he did last week. Oh, on his own, Cockatoo Collins runs into an open goal, past Turner, kicks and gets it. So Jay Cockatoo Collins kicks his second goal, 2 in a row to the Bombers. They answer the challenge. 111 plays 89.
There's a margin now out to 22 points. 2 valuable goals early in this last quarter. One to Watson and now this one to Jay Cockatoo Collins. Away it goes. There's enormous pace and enormous talent, this young player. 6 marks, 12 kicks, no hand passes. Did spend a little bit of time on the interchange bench.
Cockatoo Collins got a goal in the opening term, and now a very timely one. Bucks go at it. Dia directs it down, nicely done. Going to be a throw from Tate back to Dia, who was taken high in the act of kicking, and Bullis takes a very good mark on the 50. Naish runs on, Bullis spots him and ignores it. Goes towards the pocket, and Broderick.
There's Paul Bullis making a bit of an impact at centre-half forward. John Howard did start there. Paul Broderick, after a quiet first quarter, now coming in for kick number 8. He's had 11 hand passes.
He's 25 handballs against Fitzroy back in round 7, the best by an individual this season, so he's well off that sort of pace today. Important kick, 45 metres out. Good effort. It's a goal. The Tigers keep on coming.
There's 2 goals now to Paul Broderick, the former Fitzroy player, from about 46 metres, 47 metres. Very accurate kick. Great kicking style, Paul Broderick.
So the difference is back to 16 points. Richmond need the next one. 17-9 to 15-5 in a high-scoring affair. These 2 ruckmen have had a great deal all day. Alessio and Dia. Bullis trying to crash his way through the pack. It's left to Alessio. This is Kagawai. Over the head of Broderick. It'll have to be quick. He has to try to beat 2 of them. Make it 3. Doolan gives away the hand pass. Denham inside 50. Long kick. Oh, great shot at goal. He's dobbed it. With his 18th kick and 28th possession, Sean Denham kicks Essendon's 18th goal. It's 117 now to 95.
Yes, he was taken out of the game in that third quarter, Sean Denham. He followed Tony Free down onto the Richmond forward line. Spent a lot of time in that third quarter across half-back or in the back pocket. And he certainly set up the match for Essendon in that first half. Brilliant display in the first half. Quite a third quarter. A great goal there.
Margin 22 points. Dia slips past umpire Bird. Out of position. Bauer knocks it on as far as Thompson. Watson boots it down towards half forward. Awkward bounce for everybody down there. Gale feeds it out wide, taken by Rogers. Forward of half back, goes down towards half forward. Fletcher from behind Gale. Got a timely fist on that one. Out wide, Doolan leads in the race. Needs to be careful here. Maxfield right over the top of him. Daffy comes away with it. Hoisted high to the pocket. Murphy, eyes only for the ball. That was a great grab.
Yeah, good effort, wasn't it, Dennis? He worked his way to the front position there. Been very impressive. Barry Young just allowing himself, worrying more about the player coming from behind than where the ball was coming from. And Justin Murphy, who has already kicked 4 goals. A lovely kicking style also, Justin Murphy.
2 in the second term, 2 in the third.
Despite the fact that he was coached by Slug Jordan.
He's asking himself, what would Slug do here? Well, he'd say something. That's the first thing he'd do. Here he is from about 35 metres out. Slides it across the face. Twisted away by Fletcher. Naish, socket away by Watson. Well played. Out of bounds and out of danger, at least for the moment. So a boundary throw in about 60 metres from the Tigers' attacking goal. The margin is 22 points. Alessio comes down to compete with Bullis.
Tim Watson saving his best for last.
Ridley stayed on the ground. Alessio got it down. Broderick. Free. Dumps it towards the square. Taken by Murphy, who snaps. That's a fine effort. Goal!
5 goals. What a debut.
Justin Murphy pulls Richmond back yet again.
Just when you get the feeling that Essendon are taking charge of this match and slipping away with it, the Tigers come back into it. There's a hand pass from Broderick to Free. And keeping his footing there, Justin Murphy. Terrific performance by him. 5 goals, 1 in his debut game. Being picked up now by his third opponent in Tim Watson.
Still 14 minutes left. 5 goals by Justin Murphy. A great debut by the Tiger youngster. Alessio from the centre. Diaz got him. Did he bounce the ball?
No, he hand passed it in front of him, Pete, so the free kick must go to Alessio.
The big bomber to take the free and put Essendon back into attack. Able to shank off Richmond all day. In the second quarter, they looked as though they were going to do it. Is that a mark and Naish? Should be, surely, yes.
That's the effort.
It was. He knew they were coming, and they didn't let him down. He stood his ground well. Chris Naish. Richmond had the numbers. Essendon players reading it better. Hardwick, who was terrific early on, was one of the prime movers of the Bomber effort in the first quarter. Off the hands and out of bounds in Essendon's left forward pocket. So 13 and a half minutes left in the match. It's 18-9, 117 Essendon, Richmond 16-5, 101. Plenty of time for Richmond if the Tigers are good enough. Campbell did well. Naish smothered off the boot. He's given that out of bounds on the full. Naranga would look as though it bounced just inside. Masiti takes the free. Hurd on the lead, marks in front of Campbell, who stayed with him all day.
Actually, Campbell's done a pretty good job on him too, Pete.
I'm just going to say, to be fair,
Hurd coming in for kick number 7. He's taken 6 marks. And Campbell has had 11 possessions.
Kicked 2 goals. Will this be his third? So it is. It's there. So 3 goals to Hurd, and once again, Essendon kicks away as they have done most of the afternoon. The difference back to 22 points.
Yes, they've been able to maintain around about the 16 to 22 point advantage all afternoon, except for that brief period when the Tigers got to within 10 points. Well, James Hurd, a very talented player. His stats: 6 marks, 7 kicks, 5 hand passes, and 3 very important goals, including that one.
The Bombers by 22 points. Alessio and Dia. Dia gets it down. Out of mid-air by Ridley towards the outer side half-back flank. That's for the Tigers. Cockatoo Collins with great dash. Keeps it in front. Brilliantly played. Pulls it back. Hugging the boundary line. It's still a live ball. Out of mid-air. Wanganeen! The goal of the year.
Look at that.
Well, that defies description. Gavin Wanganeen after the brilliance of Cockatoo Collins. And that is irresistible magic.
Yes, this is very good recruit for Essendon. Cockatoo Collins showing enormous dash, getting away from Michael Gale there. And look at this, just sits up beautifully. Oh, that is just luck, I suppose, in the whole context of things. But terrific skills there by Gavin Wanganeen. He's been watching Peter Dacos at his best.
Well, it's up with Mick McGuan's effort, isn't it, for goal of the year. Might just make the game safe for Essendon now. 28 points the difference after that miraculous goal by the Brownlow medalist. Broderick out of the centre. There was a free kick paid. The advantage is to Richmond. Not for very long. Ridley. Long from defence to half forward. Callaway to Broderick. Back to Campbell. Hurd's got him. Ball jarred free in the tackle. Hurd lies on top of it. Richmond's looking for a free kick there. Neil's just come onto the ground asking the question. Umpire says no. Still 12 minutes left. The way goals have been scored, you couldn't write the Tigers off yet, but Essendon appears to be safe. Bauer to Denham, who's been brilliant. Masiti working his way back into some good form. Wanganeen spent the earlier part of the game in the back pocket, played on Murphy, who's kicked 5 goals.
Lights off for the Tigers. Matthew Dundas on.
Alessio. Now to Denham. Calthorpe. And Turner in front. Takes the timely mark in defence. Brings it to the member side of the ground. Tony Free. Tiger captain. Wobbly kick off the boot. Barely gets to centre wing. Thompson brushes one tackle. Hardwick. Dundas, as Bernie said, has just come on. Back to Bullis. Away he goes, and Bullis kicks towards right half forward. Terrible kick into space. Which way is it going to bounce? Out of bounds.
Is that a helicopter, Bernie?
I don't think you could even describe it as that, Dennis. It was a... Well, I think he did need a little bit of shepherding help there as Bullis comes off the ground to be replaced by John Howard.
So boundary throw in. O'Donnell gets it down to Doolan. Well played. Floats it towards the wing. It pitches about 5 metres in from the line and runs on out of bounds. Bombers led by 14 points at quarter time, 20 at half time, 16 at three-quarter time, and now it's out to 28. But Richmond certainly showing a lot of spirit, looking to rally, and then a goal like Wanganeen's really hurts the morale of the opponents. You'd almost see them as a group start to sag after that. Taken by Young, away to O'Donnell, hurried kick inside the 50, awkward bounce for Campbell, has to wait, took it well, quick hands, Gale lost it, Wanganeen hasn't got it, must get a free kick.
Well played, Wanganeen. Kept it out in front of him. He knew he was about to be tackled.
Plays on to the man who manufactured his last goal, Cockatoo Collins, so he's paid him back, most likely in kind.
Yes, I think that goal from Wanganeen certainly has broken the spirit of the Tigers. Margin now 28 points. Been a terrific contest all afternoon, but Essendon just with that little bit up their sleeve, we've had the players on the forward line capable of finishing off.
Cockatoo Collins has booted 3 goals. Through she goes. 21-9 to 16-5.
Margin now out to 34 points after the Tigers had got to within 10 points. At one stage, there's Michael Gale not able to take that hand pass. Wanganeen just tapping the ball out in front of him. Tackled there by Duncan Callaway. And then cleverly getting the ball very quickly to Che Cockatoo Collins.
Under 10 minutes left, and you'd think Essendon would be pretty safe from here. Kick out of the centre comes from Calthorpe. Standing his ground well, Campbell. They gave him up, Richmond. This is O'Donnell. The kick came from Callaway. Hurd started to get on top down there. Campbell have done well right throughout the afternoon.
O'Donnell in line for best on the ground with his game this afternoon. 16 kicks and 14 hand passes.
He was dynamic early, wasn't he, Bernie? He got them moving.
He certainly was, Pete. Also, Sean Denham was very good in that first half. He's had 30 possessions also.
Now James Hurd for his 4th, 50 metres out. Crowd behind the goal likes it, and he's got it. 4-1 to James Hurd. Essendon bowling right away in this final quarter now, after Richmond had got to within 10 points. It's 22-9 to 16-5.
Yes, they've had the players on the forward line capable of finishing off. And James Hurd being one of those players. Simons has kicked 5 goals also, playing at full forward. And there he is, very strong overhead, James Hurd. 7 marks for the afternoon. Michael Simons, as I said, has kicked 5. Che Cockatoo Collins 3. James Hurd 4. And Sean Denham has kicked 3.
So the margin suddenly out to 40 points. Free, taken high. We'll get the free kick. Right in the centre circle.
Is that a flattering margin, Bernie? 40 points?
Well, I think the spirit of the Tigers has been magnificent all afternoon. But as I said, Pete, they just haven't had the finish. A couple of untimely turnovers. That steal by Joe Masidi, especially in that third quarter, was very costly when Matthew Knights went for the hand pass. And I think they're a very talented side, Essendon. There's no doubt about that.
Brendan Gale's got the ball now. He'll kick a goal from about 35 metres out. Has 3 so far this afternoon, going at his 4th. Just to get the margin back to 34 points. Not a good kick. Way off the left-hand side. And in the fading light, so too are the hopes of the Tigers. Ridley short. Watson has done better in this final term. This is Grenvold, hard against the boundary line. Goes around the outer side. Young, nicely done. Knocks it onto the advantage of Mercedes. Back it comes to Doolan, over the top to Young. They combine very well. Mercedes, 65 metres out from goal, centering kick. He sets it up for Simons, but over the top. Turner, too tall, plays on quickly. Bauer, away to Naish, who comes up through the middle. He's tried hard. Rogers breaks onto that left foot, kicks inside the 50. Murphy, who's got 5 goals, reduced to the role of a spoiler there. But he still gets a chance, trying to knock it forward. On his knees, Watson. It comes to Howard. Howard pulls it back across his body. Drifting back is Thompson. He's been resolute in defence.
As usual, Bomber Thompson transferring play to this side of the ground. Taken by Calthorpe. And easily finds Grenvold marking in front of Rogers. Clock ticks down, under 8 minutes now. Barry Young. Thompson again. Badly weighted kick to Neil. He spent most of the afternoon on the bench. He was named in the original side at full forward. This is the youngster we were speaking of, Murphy. Kick well smothered that time by Watson and Grenvold. And out of bounds. But not a bad debut. 5-1. Dermot Brereton kicked 5 goals in debut and went on to become a star. What could we expect from this youngster? Justin Murphy. Mark Sheehan wrote a big piece in the Melbourne papers this morning on him, Melbourne Sun, and I think he's going to be the goods. Naish. Daffy, who got a goal with his first kick after spending 3 quarters on the bench. Doolan, he too started on interchange. And look at him go. Former Sydney Swan. Kicks down towards half forward. Campbell this time over the top of Hurd. Not played the mark apparently. Kettleway has to play on. Bounce important here. Didn't really favour Richmond. Hurd back to Denham. We've spoken at length about his efforts this afternoon. Simons in the back, free kick from umpire Sheehan.
It just depends which umpire's on the spot there, because the same thing certainly happened up the other end of the ground earlier in the match.
Gee, there's not much doubt, is there?
There's no doubt about that one at all, Pete. But
you're asking for consistency.
A bit of consistency, especially with that one against Brendan Gale by Dustin Fletcher earlier in the game.
Yes, true enough. Yes, that was pretty blatant.
Simon just kicked 5 goals, 4 of those in the first half. He's only kicked 1 since half-time. Sean Denham coming off the ground. He'll get a rousing reception, I think, from the Essendon crowd. Terrific game, Sean Denham.
31 possessions, 19 and 12. Back with Simons. That's a goal. So 6 goals to Michael Simons, 6 goals, 2 at full forward. Brian Wood, the runner, comes out, obviously with the appropriate measures. 23-9. Essendon and Richmond 16-6.
As Simons leaves the ground also. Ryan O'Connor about to replace him. Michael Simons, 6 goals, 2. His kicking certainly has improved this year. There's the free kick again. O'Connor going on. Great game, Michael Simons. Good performance playing at full forward.
Young got it from Mercedes. Ridley went down. Back comes Young at close quarters. Ridley robbed of the ball by Maxfield. In other words, full forward. Watson. Doolan. Ridley's on over the top, but Doolan spilt the mark. Recovers reasonably well. Back inside to Watson. To the run of Young. Doolan runs on. This is when they look very good. Doolan fumbled the ball though, so a couple of errors in that exchange. Cockatoo Collins worked out of it by Gale, but came again. Well done. And Gale apparently took it across the line.
Well, Michael Simons was off the ground for about 25 seconds. He's now back on the ground, and David Calthorpe's been taken off.
I don't know why Gale was pointing to the other side of the ground, but he lost it anyway. An argument with the boundary umpire. Always destined to do that. Alessio to Cockatoo Collins. Alessio tackled by Bond. Well done. Bauer to Dundas. Dundas from half-back, a bit happening off the ball. Whoa,
quite a bit.
Going in pretty solidly on the outer side. The big fellows getting involved out there. Deere and Alessio, after Bond and Alessio started it. He has got that headlock, and now
O'Connor had no need to get involved. It was just about breaking up. Now, that's ridiculous.
Yep. So they battle on the outer side wing. Meantime, the ball has gone into the forward line, and a strong mark is held down there by Bullis, who plays on, and an open goal for Daffy.
He's kicked his second.
Well, a bit happening there.
Yeah, a lot happening there. Yeah, silly play there by O'Connor. It was just about broken up, and he decided to add his little bit. With the goal going down to the other end of the ground. And Nick Daffy, who spent the first 3 quarters on the interchange bench, has kicked 2 goals in this last quarter.
But a rule in ice hockey that deals severely with players that come in late on a contest like that.
It's a very good rule, that one too, Pete.
147 to 108. So 39 points the difference now. Kind of gets that one down. It's a Richmond ball though out of the centre. Bowers kick is to half forward. That's as far as it's going. Grenvold, good timely mark. And still he comes. Grenvold kick out towards the centre wing position. Ranganine, good mark. In fact, it was no, going to bring it back.
He did it.
Actually, he was a free kick there. And
he did indicate that he was being held, Pete. So
yeah,
advantage could have been paid there.
Dropped from a mark. But he did make him go back. Off the hands of Hurd and Campbell. Hand passes to Naish. Ooh, almost a clash of heads there between Cockatoo Collins and Bauer. Hardwick kicks across his body, high towards full forward. Ball punched to the front of the pack. And it's Turner. Purposeful clearing dash. No mark taken on centre wing. O'Donnell. Beautifully directed kick. Absolutely superb. Pinpoint accuracy to Cockatoo Collins. He puts it out in front. Kickett should take this mark and does. Directly in front.
That was a great kick.
Two great kicks.
Recruit of the year, Cockatoo Collins, in my book, no doubt.
Already?
Already. I picked him after the first game. Well, that might have been a little bit early then.
Kickett goes at goal. And gets it. Well, it's sort of one-way traffic at the moment. Richmond have stopped, and I think you're right when you said about that goal to Gavin Wanganeen, that one off the ground, which was a miraculous effort. Sort of stopped them in their tracks a bit, as if you were hit across the head with a spade.
And what about the kicking in this last quarter, Peter? The Bombers have added 9 goals straight. That is magnificent kicking, as you would expect, I suppose, in these conditions. Ideal conditions for football here at Optus Oval. But brilliant display there of goal kicking by the Bombers in this last quarter.
O'Connor goes up, opposed to Deere, knocks it down. Buick didn't have it. And the hero of last round for the Bombers will get a kick right in the middle of the centre square. It's been steady. He goes down towards half forward. Missed by Cockatoo Collins. Immediately Bernie puts the wrap on. He starts to make mistakes. Here's Broderick. Across it comes to Gale, but back comes the recruit of the year. Did well. Forced a passage for Hardwick, who pulled it back towards centre half forward. Wanganeen surrounded. Still he goes, Wanganeen. O'Connor feeds it to Mercedes eventually, who goes from 40 metres out, and he's wide of the mark.
And that is the first behind they've kicked in this last quarter, the Bombers. So it's been 9 goals won to 4 goals won this final quarter.
Here's Campbell in the back pocket. Some indecision. Back he comes to Rogers. Run down from behind by Kickett. Still, it comes to Kellaway. Kellaway back towards midfield. Good kick to Dundas, uncontested. Free down towards centre half forward for the Tigers. Working his way in front down there, Ridley. First back on the ball, Howard. Claimed from behind by Thompson. Jarred free. Socket out of defence by Grenvold. It comes to Hardwick. Across to Mercedes. And we've got a whistle. And it will be a free kick to Hardwick. Hardwick just forward of half back. 27 possessions today.
He's put in a pretty good effort, especially brilliant in the first quarter. Really got Essendon moving, the youngster. This is Broderick. Kicks up to Matty Dundas. To Campbell. To half forward. Well, Richmond have been they've been outplayed in this final quarter, haven't they? You can't say much more than that. Murphy, fine debut by him. That's going to be the highlight of the day for them. Maxfield kicks it out in front of goal, and Naish takes the mark. But they just dropped their bundle. And Essendon with the strength that they have on the forward line, good enough to take advantage. Chris Naish has kicked 2 goals. Under 1 minute left in this contest now. Nash's kick just drifting to the near side. Something hit the post. I think it might have been a player. It's out of bounds. So a boundary throw in the Tigers' right forward pocket. The closing stages of this match, Richmond getting to within 10 points, but Essendon very quickly answering that challenge. Here's Daffy, who got a kick for a goal early in the final quarter. Made the difference 10 points, but that one is out of bounds on the foot. So Watson, who's had his best quarter for the match, goes out wide. Simon, what's he doing down there? I know he had a short stint on the bench, but anyway, it's with Doolan now. And Doolan kicks up towards centre wing, and Gale takes an easy one.
Off to his brother, so Brendan Gale from Michael Gale kicks it inside the 50. Ridley played it pretty well, knocked it down towards Simons. Dundas was pushed in the back. Neil gets it across to support. Maxfield hooks it back. There's the siren full time at Princes Park. And in the end, the most convincing victory to the Bombers, 24-10 to 17-6. So they've won it by 46 points.
Yeah.
I said they'd stop as if they were head over the head of the spoke.
I thought when you mean 50 go, I just thought it was important as well.
Do you think that didn't come up? Do you think the man who's in charge of the Human Rights Council will program and do you mention the word spade in my man when he used to go?
You want me to try my video, did you?
Very pointed, right?
43. So that's 34.77.
Hey, you right?
Is that my biro there, Dennis, or is it
What's that, mate?
that multicoloured one? What do I do with mine?
Can I just put this on Peter before you...
What do I do with mine?
Peter Ben's might want to talk to him or something.
Doesn't matter. No one cares.
Oh, he's alright, he's a good bloke. Peter Ben. Yeah.
What's happened is all you go from 4 to 1 so the bloke came in
21,000.
Where's your ear hole?
Where it usually is.
I know it's there somewhere.
Stays on.
Yeah, see, Kev. Yeah, bye. Hey, mate. Just not the mirror. Yeah, what do you call that?
Yeah, okay,
What do you call that?
Here's all right.
A bowl of goldfish. Oh no. The eyes don't look too good today.
No.
Couple of matchsticks on there. More? How's that now? Okay.
Thanks, Sandy. Good afternoon, everyone. Well, the difference was exactly double out here, 46 points, and it was in favour of Essendon, but they did get a scare. At three-quarter time, Richmond was certainly in with a chance. The final quarter started. Nick Daffy came off the bench. He kicked a goal. That reduced the deficit to 10 points, and the Tigers were really roaring. And then they were really knocked back in their tracks. A magnificent goal kicked by Gavin Wanganede from the boundary line would certainly rival Mick McGuan's goal earlier this year for goal of the year. It was a terrific effort. That lifted Essendon, and the Bombers came right away to win in the end by 46 points. The encouraging signs for Richmond, the debut form of young Justin Murphy. He finished up with 5 goals, and that was certainly the highlight for the Tigers this afternoon. Let's take a look now at some of the highlights of the final 2 quarters here from Princes Park. Well, it was a spectacular goal, Bernie. 46 points. Does that flatter Essendon, or is that a fair margin?
Well, I think really a fair margin in the end, Pete, because they did control most of the play. Nearly 100 more possessions, or 77 more possessions than Richmond did have. And in the last quarter, they did finish it off spectacularly, kicking 9 goals 1 to 4 goals 1. But they are a very good side, Essendon, and don't forget they did win the premiership in 1993. And they still have Michael Long out of that side, Paul Salmon out of that side. So I think that Kevin Sheedy has produced a very adaptable side, capable of winning it again this year.
Well, how did you rate Murphy's performance?
Oh, great first up performance by Murphy. 5 goals and kicks the ball beautifully. Magnificent display by him in the forward pocket.
So a bright note on which to end the afternoon here for Richmond. Repeating the final score, the Bombers victorious by 46 points, 24-10, 154 to the Tigers, 17-6, 108 at Princes Park.
Yes, thanks, Dave. Well, Essendon have won their 4th straight. They accounted for the Tigers to the tune of 46 points here at Princes Park this afternoon, paced by former Subiaco player Michael Simons, who booted 6 goals. So those sides that won today, certainly Collingwood, Carlton and Essendon, consolidate in the top 8. Adelaide in trouble now. They play North Melbourne here at Princes Park next Saturday. That's a big game for them. And of course, the Brisbane Bears today. How about that performance? They play the West Coast Eagles in 8 days' time. But first things first, it's the Eagles first against Melbourne second at the MCG tomorrow, and you can see that live right here on 7. Dave? Yeah, that's fine.